I
No,
suppose it kind of worked, but because I did it on CapCut,
you haven't put
I,
it in the right portrait, have you? Or
well, you can only do it on that because it's designed for like social media. So there's no way of changing it because you can't make a video a sticker to stick on a background. What I was supposed to have done is put an overlay first and then play the intro, which I completely forgot.
how will
I
it
was
look
meant to
nice
do.
anyway? It looked
Yeah,
nice.
I was meant to put. Oh, actually, I've deleted it anyway, so it's not here. I was meant
Right,
to put like
and bloody fireworks.
something like that. Yeah, I was streaming on doing a build stream. Oh, you were obviously there, but Wednesday night, and it was popping off, and that was the original night that I was supposed to have. Me and Ken and a few others were going to do like a Star Wars chat.
Yeah.
But obviously, it fell apart. But it's only a couple of days beforehand I realized, shit, it's fireworks night. I just imagined it was going to be fucking popping off. And it was going to be a nightmare streaming with. It sounded like I was getting shot every 2 minutes, but
The right pain in the arse, but so if it gets real bad, I'll just mute myself in and out, like.
yeah. Just want to change up that to match up the old purple that I've gone for tonight. So, oh, there he is. Darth Ginger. That's my nickname in school.
New intro.
Darth Ginger. So, listen, guys, a little bit more informal tonight. I mean, you can't probably get any more informal than any of my streams, certainly not the Cool Han stream. But this show is a little bit impromptu and a little bit less formal than the least formal show out there, which is just me and Nimble hanging about, having a goosey gander, having a chat, and having a look at a couple of pictures and just general chit chat. So, get comfy. There's not too much. We'll try and engage with the chat as best we can as normal, but it's not going to be your usual show. So yeah. Two main topics for tonight, and we probably segue a few times, but the first one being that we're going to talk a little bit about Bricktastic and just get some excitement there because we're on the verge of booking it. I just got to check the messages from my old goat now and see what she's up to. But I'll get into that.
I love that. I've never heard old goat before, and I've heard pretty much all rhyming slang in Britain. And when you said old goat, honestly, I was creasing. Because I always say old dear.
Right. Well, my family always make fun of me because I got quite a long head, like a long face. Which I lean into it as best I can. But so they always say I look like a horse.
Right.
And like when I used to be out and about with my mates back in my 20s or whatever, it'd be like, oh, why the long face, Matt?
Yeah.
But so I remember when I can't remember what it was. I was setting up a bank transfer with my mum for something. I can't remember what it was. I think she bought something. This was years and years ago.
Yeah.
She'd bought something and I transferred the money across to her. And it says give the transfer a name so you can recognize it on your statement or whatever.
Yeah.
And I named it to goat from horse. And I didn't realize my mum could see it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just for my reference. But it turns out that so she could see it. So she thought it was quite funny because that's the family and friendship and the way I've always been brought up is basically we all rip into each other. Like we go over my family's at Christmas time and everybody just tears strips out of each other, which is why I'm the way I am in terms of making fun of people and mercilessly bullying people. We've always done it, which I always found quite effective really as a kid because when you were in school,
it makes you gives you a bit of character, doesn't it?
Well, it always reminded me of that film 8 Mile with Eminem.
Right, yeah.
Obviously, this was a lot later, but because in it, he does that verse and he basically rips into himself.
Yeah.
The whole verse. So that when the other guy stands up he's like, I kind of got nothing to say. You already said it all.
Yeah.
And that was what I was like, in school. So like kids would like bully me or whatever, or try to, and give me like verbal abuse, and he'd be like, "There's no difference to what my dad called me last night, or my mum calls me, or whatever." So there's no thing. Bro. So it was that kind of. I mean, I don't necessarily encourage that. I don't really do it with my daughter, but as much. But we do kind of, it is kind of a little bit slapstick.
Yeah, best way to be, mate.
Sorry guys, if you're watching, I'm just finishing up my tea because I was a bit delayed. Last 2 bites.
So it's it's a Friday night, fireworks bloody going off, but we're getting ever closer to Christmas, aren't we? And Black Friday. I suppose before we start, have you got any Black Friday purchases in mind? Are you hopeful of anything?
Zero. Yeah, well, 2 of the, I don't know, I think there's probably about 8 sets out there at the moment. It was about 10, but I just got 2 for my birthday. So it doesn't really leave much. And I'm on a spending ban.
Right.
And I'm slowly, if the prices are ridiculously good, then I might be tempted. But I would rather be like, these are sets to buy for me, because there's not many people. Like my parents don't buy for me anymore. It's literally just me and Kirsty, and then Kirsty may get something off my daughter for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, get something from my daughter to me.
What did you get for your birthday then?
I had the U-Wing and the V19 Torrent.
Nice. The U-Wing,
generally,
isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't built it yet, obviously.
I haven't had the Torrent yet.
But that kind of eliminates some of my list, and then whatever else is on the list, I'd like to think I'll get for Christmas, but if not, at some point throughout the year. But I still do want to go to Brickworld. I'm not going to harp on about that because my chances are still relatively low.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I don't spend any money on Lego for myself between now and then, I could justify it a bit more.
It increases chances, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's not to say I can't buy those sets then afterwards, but
yeah,
where they'll be cheaper, even more cheaper, if not like next Black Friday. But I'd rather do that and have that opportunity and put that money towards that than anything else. So it is where it is. But but no, yeah, going back briefly, just I'm going to ask you what you got on your list, but I just wanted to. Jesus, I heard those ones. That sounded like a shotgun, mate. That was like a 12 gauge.
Well, it probably was, mate. It is Birmingham.
So just briefly, so my mum is going to book these hotels for us. But the problem is that I didn't realize that my sister, who lives in Sweden, her like wife, essentially, I guess, had been as recently had an operation and has been rushed back into hospital while she's recovering. So I don't know the ins and outs. It's not really that relevant. But my mum is basically scrambling to try and book tickets to try and fly out to Sweden. They were going to go, like, I think next week anyway, because both my parents are retired, so they're swanning off all the time. But my mum wants to go out a little bit sooner just to try and, support my sister a little bit, because obviously she's going to be back for the hospital. So, and they've got quite a few pets. They've got quite a lot of pets. I don't know how many dogs and cats they got, but so they usually struggle to have somebody to look after them. So I don't know. But my mum's like, look, I'm concentrating on that at the moment. Can I sort it out later? I'm like, yeah, whatever. There's no rush as such, but
fair enough. Completely fair.
But but yeah, sorry, just to get back to you, I didn't actually update the group, but when my mum looked at it last, for 3 rooms for 2 nights, it was coming in as 721. Now, obviously, Muttley's got a room for himself, so I can't really work that out. My mum just keeps showing me screenshots of like the total, and I'm like, I can't. But I think she said it'd gone down slightly. I think it was 247 for 2 nights for a room, which works out. Let's work that out. 247 divided into 2 nights. 123. Divide that into 2 people. Actually, it's a little bit more. £61.75.
Still cheaper than I found. People in the chat, you're probably wondering, this is a hotel for me, Cool Han, Muttley, Slurpee, Whittaky to get a hotel at the Bricktastic.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm a bit all over the place. I'm got about 300 things going swirling around my mind. So yeah, I started saying it and I went off in a different direction. But tonight we're talking a bit about Bricktastic, getting the plans organized, and we were hopefully going to do a live buy. But I think my mum's basically like a gold Premier Inn member or something, and she got some, I don't know, some voucher or something where she can get free breakfasts, which works out a lot cheaper. I mean, you pay like 11 quid a night per person per night. So, I mean, it works out really cheap. So, we're going to be talking a little bit about that to start with. And then we're going to go into talking about Echo Base Live, specifically Galaxy of Creatures, which is a kind of a second event that they do. I think they do 2 events a year, don't they? They do the main Echo Base Live, and then they do, like, they call it something different every year, if I remember rightly. Like, it's...
Yeah, they do 2 a year. I've only done 1, but next year I'll definitely be doing both. But yeah, I don't know the big difference between the two. I think the main difference is just the target of guests they try and get.
Right. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. I was going to say what would be the difference. I saw the one before, last year's second one was called like Endor or something about Endor. So
yeah, I think it's sort of they base the theme around the sort of guests they can get. So yeah, I'll go into some more detail on it.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But no, sorry. Back to the question. I know you bounced it to me. I'll bounce it back. What are you hoping to sniff out for Black Friday?
Again, same as you. Nothing really. I'm sort of saving for Christmas, I suppose, and then so I plan on giving myself a good 3 weeks off this year for Christmas, which you know, being self-employed, that's 3 weeks where I'm not earning any dough. So I'm sort of trying to be good at the moment, not spending. And then obviously you got to think about presents for people. And I'm sort of at a point now where with Lego, I'm not desperate for a set. I've sort of everything that I was sort of fighting an urge for, I've got. And I think it's me starting to mature up a bit and wise up to the fact that, you know, you can't have everything, and pick and choose what I get a bit more these days, especially going into next year. I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so probably not a lot. I usually, if I see battle packs pretty cheap, I'll probably snag a couple, especially if I see them half price. It's like anytime I see them 2 for 20 quid, I'll just grab them, because that seems to be happening quite frequent at the moment. So yeah, I'll do that, and then I don't know who have we got in the chat tonight. Has anyone else got anything in plan for Black Friday? I know Muttley will probably be thinking the same, battle packs, but who have we got in the house tonight?
So far I can see. I'm not going to call out the chat like we normally do. It's a different show, but Liam was out there first comment of the night. So well done, Liam. At least the first one I can see on the anyway. His Goonies set came in today, so well done, Liam, mate. Enjoy that. It's probably early hours of the morning for him right now, so he's probably not still there. But enjoy that Goonies set, mate, and great build. Hopefully, you know, maybe you can spark that up tomorrow on the. What's wrong with my head today? Cold Fusion Stream. Oh, Christ, I don't remember the name of my own frigging show. So there's a Cold Fusion tomorrow, guys. Details to be confirmed. I will throw it out on YouTube and on Instagram this time. So my mum's just messaged to say I'm going to write everything down, because I think she's getting a bit confused by the messages. I'm going to write everything down and have a go with gritted teeth. Yeah, so we got the Cold Fusion stream tomorrow, which is normally a longer stream, a little bit like tonight's show. It's a little bit more of a hangout stream, and it's free to everybody to join in. The idea of the show is to boost connections, increase our arm's width in terms of like our embrace within this community or this sub community of ours. Get to know new people, and give everybody a chance to come on and have a little chat and let them know themselves. So let me know, guys. It's going to be around about midday tomorrow UK time, and I am tempted to kind of stop it around about tea time so I can sort of see Kirsty and spend some time with her, and then start it up again late at night for the guys over in the US, particularly the East Coast. But we'll see. I've yet to plan it, but time-wise. But so yeah, Paddy's out there. Sarah, how are you? Own it formal. I'm in black tie. I'll go get in me jammies. I don't know what. Oh, not formal.
It's not formal.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it's just like t-shirts and boxer shorts. Obviously, you can't see the boxer shorts, but that's pretty much it. And Nimble's rocking a going out t-shirt, a house dressing gown, and a baseball cap. So I don't think he can really decide whether he's coming or going. But
this is my finery these days.
It's weird to see someone wearing a baseball. Like, I'm probably old-fashioned, but wearing a baseball cap around the house.
It's the one I got at Echo though.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's relevant for this stream, but normally I would agree. Wearing a cap indoors is a.
Although I think I've worn one for a stream once before, actually, because I just didn't want to wear sunglasses to help me with the light. But Hoda's out there. Well, how we doing, mate? Long face. If you grew hair and shaved your beard, I think it would be the same size as everyone else. Time to stop hating. No, I don't mind it, mate. I mean, growing the beard actually made it a lot worse because the beard kind of is on the pointy side. But yeah, when I used to have hair, my hair used to stick up as well, so that it used to look like a frigging carrot. But anyway, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is there. Oh, that's Big Matley. Good week to look forward to this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. Got a week off, so it's just another day for me. But have you got the K2SO yet? Ultra's asking. Have you answered it?
But obviously, I've got it sealed and I've got it signed by the.
Oh, of course you have. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I've got a sick acrylic display case for it now as well. So
for the box or for the set?
For the box.
So you're not going to bust that one, or you're just going to keep the box? Pardon me.
Keep it sealed, and also the box is in a box now.
Nice. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Oh, when you said you got one, I didn't realize you'd set it up yet. Right. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, got one like custom made for it.
It's when people come to me and say you have blue hair, I always act shocked now and say, "What? It's blue. What's brown when I left home?" Yeah, people used to say that to me all the time because I'm ginger, and they used to say, do the curtains match the drapes? And I'm like, why wouldn't they? Like, no, I'm purple down there. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's not really making fun of me. Just asking me a basic question, which is a stupid question. But
I don't know, it's strange though, because I get whenever I grow my beard or my mustache out, it grows I grow it ginger, but I'm not ginger. So strange.
Well, yeah. Well, nobody in my family's ginger, but when my brother first started growing his beard, believe it or not, he just used to have like a bit of ginger grow like in this area, just on the sort of tips of his moustache and down here. And everybody used to make fun of him, say like he looks like he's been eating like spaghetti oops and haven't wiped his mouth properly. Like,
yeah, it's been a pack of what's it.
Yeah. But yes, Paddy, Hood, Ultra. I love all this. I love seeing, because this is when I first came into the community, and to see it happening within our community, if you want to call it our community, but the community we kind of stand with, but is seeing everybody shout each other out in the chat. It's great. It's great to see. I love it. And even though it's only a handful of people here, but of course they all say hello to each other, which is great. I mean, I'm at the point now where I used to do that in ACOG when there was kind of 40, 50 people watching. And now there's so many people, everybody says your name and you're like, Hi,
everybody.
I'm not saying everyone's name. I ain't got time for it. But I feel like everybody does that now, so you don't expect it. But ours is small enough and kind of tight-knit enough. We're all just kind of, essentially all just in one lift. So listening to me instead of music. But We'll be going to the Lego store. So, oh yeah, I did see somebody asked. Yes, Paddy, Sarah asked, Hoda, what will you be building with your 8-year-old? I don't know where that conversation started, so I'm guessing I must have missed a comment somewhere that he was going to be building with his 8-year-old. But we will be going to the Lego store, so she may get a set, but we will be macing or mocking a Christmas scene. I think I don't know yet because she may change her mind. Well, if you're mocking a Christmas scene, Hoda, I will say, reach out to my good man Keith, aka Brick Together, Click Together on Instagram, and he's got a Christmas mock competition running at the moment, and I think it runs till the end of November. He was talking about it on his live last night, so go and check him out. And I'm tempted to do the same myself. I'm not going to give away the idea in case somebody steals it, but I have an idea that I'd like to do if given the time, which is basically means it's not going to happen. But yeah. She was there the weekend before Halloween, and she made up a So a make and take event in the store. Spooky scene using just about every scary fig print animal she can find. Oh no, she did her own, right? Okay, oh great stuff. That's amazing. Muttley is hoping for a discount on the Imperial Star Destroyer with the carcasses for Black Friday. Same, but I'm hoping that somebody who's buying Lego for me can get a great deal on it, because that's the one. I don't know about you, Muttley, but that's my last set from that anniversary collection, or the last figure that I need. And I am quite tempted. I think I might say it on the stream, even though I do like the set and I don't actually own any form of Imperial Star Destroyer, not even a first order one. I mean, I got the Acclimator, but in terms of like a play scale, I haven't. And that's one of the like kind of key sets because they brought out so many of them, but I don't actually own one somehow. So I thought, right, good chance to get it.
Have you got the figure then?
Yeah, got that. Yeah, got all the others. I mean, some of them are still sealed in box, but you know they are in my possession in some way, shape, or form. But I bought that.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine, mate. I bought that set for Kirsty and my daughter when I went away to Brickworld. I had it on a really good deal. I got it for like 60 quid.
Oh, okay.
So they could do those droid builders while I was away, and they only ended up building, I think, one. So it's there in pieces. So they're as bad as me now. But yeah, so I got that fig. But so I don't know. I was tempted though to just pass over it because of how expensive it was, and I've never seen it in any kind of really good deal. You know, a couple of quid off here and there, but nothing worth talking about. Because it's quite an expensive set anyway. I thought I might just get the Calcestis fig. I think somebody was selling for 45 quid on Bricklink.
Pretty good. It's one of them, and it's because it's an Amazon exclusive, and again, this is all coming from Muttley. I think Amazon are really stingy with their stuff if it's an exclusive.
Oh yeah.
So I think the Calcestis is averaging at around about 60 or 70. So if you can get the set for about 100 or 110, it's still probably worth getting the set.
That's what I thought. I thought if I could get it sub 100 or just over, or somebody can get it at that price, 110 or 90 or something like that on a good deal, then it is worth doing it. I mean, I looked at the Calcestis a couple of weeks ago now, and I saw somebody selling it for like, I think I say 40. I think it might have been more like 48. And of course, by the time you add postage and packaging, you're looking at about 50 quid. And I just think for another 50 quid, I've got a whole set. So
yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? But luckily, it's not retiring, is it? For a bit, like I thought it was this year, but then I found out it's next year. So it's sort of, I'm not as asked about it now, because it might end up on the actual Lego website for sale, mightn't it, for May?
Yeah, I thought I remember somebody telling me he was retiring. I was kind of scrambling a little bit, and then it turns out it wasn't. So I don't know whether that was misinformation or misread information. But also, it's worth noting that I was having a conversation with Sean, and I don't know where it was. It must have been on a stream. I assume it was a stream where I was talking about the Lego Star Wars magazine, and somebody, whether it be someone from the UK or someone from the States, said, "Oh, you can get that in America now. They've started doing it in America." And I can't remember who told me. And I mentioned it in a post that I did, and Sean was like straight on it, like, "We're in America. I can't find it anywhere." I'm like, "Well, I don't actually know." That's why I do actually say in the video that I made, the Droidica one, I do actually say apparently you can get this in the US now. I don't know for sure. Obviously, I can't check, myself. But
Yeah.
But I remember somebody, definitely 100%, somebody told me, or someone put in the comments, or it was somewhere, and I'm trying to work out where that came from and what they where they got that information from. But anyway, Sarah's after the Super Mario plant thing. I gotta say though, in terms of the Super Mario sets, that plant thing is pretty good. It's almost like the UCS version of the Super Mario kind of theme, because it's like, I mean, it's not really in scale with the rest of the stuff from Mario. It's more of a kind of display piece, I feel like.
Brian plant,
yeah, I think it looks good though.
The best bet for that, Sarah, is check B&M. At
B&M.
my local B&M, it's always on offer.
Well, in saying that, she said that it's 35 in Sainsbury's. I don't think I've seen it as cheap as that. I think I remember seeing it at 45 because it was quite an expensive set and definitely an overpriced set, because I think it's probably worth about 40, 45.
It's a lovely set though, isn't it? Look, it's very well
good. I was really tempted to get it myself and just put it like kind of jokily in like one of the bathrooms or something, because it's it's very close to being like a botanical.
Yeah.
But or get it from my daughter and she could have it because she's a Mario fan. Like, she's kind of grown up on Mario, which I did as well. So that's kind of cool. Obviously a newer generation, but I thought that'd be good as a display piece for her. But the amount of Lego my daughter's got that she hasn't built is just unreal. I mean, she's starting to get close to being like me, but I think with her it's not because of space or time or anything like that. It's just because she's not as interested in building anymore.
Yeah.
And I think she kind of, over the course of a year, she kind of fell out of love with it, and she had like a birthday and a Christmas in that time where those sets all just kind of sat there. So it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. I don't want to force it on her. So
yeah, it happens, doesn't it?
I mean, I bought her the Grogu and the Grogu, the buildable Grogu, the first one that came out, and that was, I managed to get on a really good deal for like 50 quid, because I think it was like 80 or 90 when it first came out, and I managed to get it for like 50 quid. And that must have got to be about 4 or 5 years ago now, not long after it first came out. And she still hasn't finished building it.
Really?
She's done bits and pieces, and it's like, I can't complain because I'm the same. But when you're a kid, like when I was a kid, it was like, I'd stay up, I'd do whatever I could
built
to make
that
sure
day, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course it would. Yeah. And I'd run home, I'd go and buy a set with my pocket money, even though it might have been a smaller one. I'd be dapping it home to get it built, and then obviously take it apart, build something else, whatever. But anyway. But like I said, I don't really want to force her on her because she'll go the other direction then, so she'll start hating everything. Really like the current PlayStation Star Destroyer. True, yeah, Ultra, yeah, that's the one we were just talking about. Yeah, good. Mario Plant is great looking set, absolutely. Not fussed, not fused, not fussed at getting all the anniversary figs. But I do want the Cal 2014 IDS is my favorite of the ISD builds. Sorry, I said IDS. Yeah, I gotta say though, of all the Imperial Star Destroyers that come out, we haven't had one for a while, in fairness. I think the last one that came out was the First Order one, and that was a few years back. So there was a big gap. I want to say about 10 years, if not more, between Star Destroyers and those couple that I've seen. And I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace, secondhand for sale, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's one of those sets that, like, between like the first, second, and maybe the third version that came out, it didn't really improve very much or change very much, and it still looked a bit kind of blocky and a bit clumpy. So I was never a particular fan. It's probably one of the reasons I never.
Really good, and it's like it looks like a real shrunken down UCS sort of set, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very it's very well detailed and sleek.
Yeah, definitely. Also talking about the Mario sets. Yeah, I think the Mario sets are quite slept on. I think the whole digital thing didn't work as well as we wanted to, but it doesn't mean the sets were particularly bad. I mean, they're really well made. Like, they really look clean. Like, considering it was their first run at it, when you look at those Mario sets, the consistency from the very first set that came out right up till now, it's like as close as you can get, to build quality.
I suppose the big problem with Mario is, when you think of Lego, is there's no minifigs.
Yeah, no, that is an issue. But I think the audience they were appealing to was probably a different audience altogether. Who was I think they were trying to go down the avenue of, has it got to have a minifig?
Yeah,
I can't I don't think it's necessary. People have said, "Oh, it's a flop, it's a failure," but they're still putting the sets out, so it can't be as bad as we think.
No, that's true.
So I got one room twin Friday and Saturday, one room twin Friday and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is mine, and then one room double, one person, Friday and Saturday. Does that sound right? That sounds right, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I am going to stay. I am going to stay there this Sunday. I mean, I could go back. I spoke to my family in Manchester today. They said, "Yeah, Thursday's fine. They're off, whatever," and they're going to come and pick me up from the metro. But I don't know. It's just the aggravation of like checking out the hotel, lumping everything in the back of your car, and then obviously when you leave, you know, getting back to this, getting back to this, setting back up. You know what I mean? All my stuff will be out. I won't be in any rush to leave on the Monday morning. I just think for the sake of a night. I mean, it was such a good price as well. I'm thinking I can have a cooked breakfast again, go back to the room, pack up, and then just make my own way on my own time, kind of thing. So,
well, I suppose there's the question as well, which what are you going to do about the show on that Sunday?
Well, that's the other reason. That was the reason I was concerned, because although I know the Wi-Fi would be better at my family's house, and they've got a room that I kind of have a bit of privacy or whatever, it still didn't feel right, because I'd be getting there around about the time that the stream was due. By the time even if I managed to thumb a lift off you, I'd be getting there like 6, 7 o'clock. I'd be probably having tea, and I'd be like, I don't want to walk in and be like, yeah, by the way, I'm going to go and do a stream. Even if I tell them that in advance, it don't really kind of make sense to them, and it's not really anywhere I can do it. And then it's just like, I don't know, it feels a bit rude.
It ain't worth the hassle, is it?
No, that's what I mean. I'd rather just, I can set all the stuff up in the room the night before, or that morning or whatever.
I think with Premier Rooms, you can actually pay a little bit extra for an upgraded Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but the Wi-Fi, I don't know. Like, Slurpee obviously struggles with it, but the Wi-Fi doesn't have to be that. When you're just streaming, it's not.
He's using more code, though. That's why.
Yeah. But I find that it's okay. I mean, we have got like high, good quality thingy here. I think it's fiber optic, and because it's quite a new housing estate, obviously it was all put in the ground kind of like while that was all new, sort of thing. So it's like, not digging it. They hadn't have to dig up no roads or anything to lay it down and all that malarkey. So, so we don't have any issue with it, thankfully, and we've got a decent package anyway, just because the size of the house. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a problem, because I think when you're going through StreamYard kind of narrows everything. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It's almost like StreamYard kind of funnels it.
Well, because we're there, obviously the Friday and the Saturday, you could always just hop into StreamYard on the Friday and Saturday, just
check it out.
Just check it out, and if it is real choppy, then just it's up to you then, isn't it? If you want to upgrade.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the other option is because obviously I might not take my mic. I just might take the laptop, because I've done a stream with the laptop audio before, and as long as there's no background noise and stuff, it's fine. So I'm not going to take the mic, but I'll take the laptop, and I'll just see how it goes. And like you said, if it's no good, I can always use my phone and use my data, which is generally pretty strong wherever I go, because I'm with EE and they're pretty good, in fairness. Since I've been with EE, I can't remember a time where I haven't had signal anywhere, even in some of the places I knew were dark spots when I was with O2. So
yeah, I use EE. They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very rare that I'm in a position where I'm like, oh shit, I got no bars, so
yeah.
Let me just listen to these.
Bears in Wales, isn't there?
What's that?
Plenty of bears in Wales.
Yeah. Let me listen to this audio message off my mum. You guys might actually be able to hear it. Hopefully she don't call me hoarse.
Or anything worse.
So how many people in the room for 3 nights? How many people in the room for Friday, Saturday? How many people in each of these rooms do I need to put? Is there 3 people in each and 1 in the double?
She sounds like Gwen off Gavin and Stacey. Is it Gwen?
I'm going to have to book The 2 rooms are just for Friday and Saturday in one booking, and then book the 1 room twin for 3 nights separately. Because I can add rooms on, but can't change the dates on them. So
Right.
if I do 1 twin and 1 double Friday, Saturday, is that right? And then 1 twin Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get back to me and tell me.
Yeah, so you pretty much got it spot on. The way you've written it out is spot on. There's 2 people in the top room. From the piece of paper you've taken a picture of, 2 people in the top room, 2 people in the second one, and then 1 person in the bottom one. So, yeah, I know I forgot actually. I've looked at this and thought, yeah, you've got that spot on. Don't need to tell me anything. But then I realized afterwards that I remember in Premier and you've got to tell them how many people, because of course they need to know how many are having breakfast. So it should be 5 in total, 5 heads in total for breakfast, 2, and then 1. Yeah, so let me know. Obviously, if it's a pain in the ass, don't put yourself under the cosh. Just we can sort it out tomorrow or whatever. It's only because I got the guys, I finally got the guys to sort of agree to everything and check everything off. So I just wanted to get it done out of the way, but it's not the end of the world if we can. So don't worry about it. All right, there we go. I'll keep that up there so I can see her.
Bless her.
Yeah, fair play to her. She's. I mean, she was throwing up screenshots, and I was like, "How the hell have you got it at that price? Like, I've just done the exact same thing, and I got a different price." And then I realized then she's like logged into I don't know if it was an app or logged into her account or whatever. So she gets, like I said to you guys before, she gets like these crazy deals, and then sometimes they'll message her and be like, I don't know. Bognor Regis has got a deal on where you can get a breakfast, a double room and breakfast for 2 nights for like a $1.
Yeah.
One of them's like, yeah, sweet, book it, and then work out how they're going to get there and what they're going to do when they get there. And it's just like they just shoot off whatever, So, like they'll message you sometimes. They'll be like, "Oh, we're on our way back from Tunbridge Wells." And I'm like, "What's up there?" "Oh, we don't know. We just saw there was a cheap hotel there, so we went up there to stay, and we found this to do, found that to do, found the other to do." And I was like, "Oh, fair enough, just whatever, living it up, so." But but yeah, so and look, I do a quick PSA or a quick announcement, and I won't say an apology because I don't feel like we need to worry about treading on people's toes. But London Bridge Bricks, aka Greg, is streaming tonight as his normal time slot. I shared this post with him just because I knew we were talking about Bricktastic, not because I wanted him to share it or because it's yeah, no, sorry, Sarah. I didn't mean Bognor Regis. There's anything wrong with it. It was just the most random thing I could think of. I was going to say Elephant and Castle, but I didn't know whether a lot of people would know where that was. But yeah, so yeah, I basically he messaged me to say, I'm not going to be able to share your post because it's a conflict of interest. And I'm like, no, I didn't share it to you for that reason. I shared it to you just to let you know, because he's the, his stream is the official stream for Bricktastic. I want you to know that we're doing a bit of chatter about it, and doing the Lord's work, kind of thing.
So is he like the equivalent of what ACOB is at Brickworld? Is he?
Yeah, kind of, and that's why I bring it up, because there was a longer conversation. And when I say a conversation, it's messages and sometimes a voice note. I don't very often sort of ring and speak to people, as you've just seen by my mum, just because I don't like to put people under pressure of they can kind of listen or talk when they want. But and I was like, look, no, mate. And normally I would do everything I can to avoid streaming at the same time as another person, at least who I know. Obviously, you can't avoid streaming at the same time as people; it's impossible. But if they're, from the same kind of, within your same kind of friend group, community group, then you would, try to avoid that as best you can. But I did say to him, look, this isn't a Lego stream though, so there's not really a conflict of interest. And obviously, we were a bit limited with when we could do it because of one thing or another. So I said, and he's like, "Oh no, thanks for saying that. That's fine." But and I said, "No, I wasn't asking you to promote it. I was just letting you know. When I used to tag people in all the posts with the expectation that they were going to sort of share it, but I just can't be bothered anymore. I just don't see the point. And most people know when our streams are going, and the elite people will be here. And we're not trying to do this to get 500 people watching. Watch if you want to watch. Don't if you don't. But I'd rather just create like a small kind of friendly atmosphere for people than anything else. But
100%.
Anyway, so we got to talking, and let me just listen to this message off the go. Wait a sec.
Two separate things. So I'll have to do the 3 nights on one order and the 2 Friday and Saturdays on another order, because you can change the rooms, the pit, you can't change the dates. Is that all right?
Yeah, whatever's clever. I don't. I'm not too bothered. Like I said, I was only concerned that if you tried to book it with this kind of deal you had with the free breakfast, that if you tried to do like separate orders, it might not let you do it multiple times. But you did say that you'd already booked for you and Dad to go somewhere with the free breakfast. So you've already used that code or whatever. So it's obviously something you can use over and over again, which is sweet. So just, book rooms all over the country. Get those free breakfasts, Yeah, so anyway, let me I'll try and remember, because I don't like misquoting myself, but and it's quite relevant to what we're going to talk about here, so I will bring it up. Conversation with Gregorius. Just a warm up, really, to the Bricktastic. So yeah, Greg is gonna be on the show when we do some Bricktastic
hype show. You'll have to do.
Show.
We've got to do one, haven't we?
We're definitely going to do one with Greg. I might reach out to Lego Team B as well, and if they're listening, let us know to see if they can come on, because I know they've come. I think it's interesting to get the scope of somebody who's come. Last year we talked to Mayo about it, just after he'd come from Oz. Lego Team B are from Australia as well, so they've come a long way. They've also they've been to Brickworld. So as Australians who've been halfway across the world to Brickworld, and obviously you've always also come to the UK, it'd be nice to get that kind of balanced feedback. And obviously we've got Greg coming on.
It's good to hear that people are willing to travel here, though, isn't it?
That's
it's a good sign, like, already.
But the question for me in the conversation with Greg is, I'll just read it out. It's just easier. He just wants to know a date so we can book it in. I just gave him the dates that are available. I will be doing a show from the hotel in the aftermath of Bricktastic on Sunday the 22nd. So what is the setup with Bricktastic? Do they have opportunities to stream a show from there like Brickworld? Would love to have a go if so. He did say that he's involved in another stream at 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. I'm not sure what stream that is, but he did say that for that reason he's not sure about coming on our show. So, okay, I could do another stream with him on, but the whole point of that was to be part of the normal regular show. So they don't have the same setup as Brickworld. I've waited 3 years to be the official show streamer. It's really all about working on building those relationships and trust. And I get that. What he's basically saying is it's taken him a while to get to the point to be that. And I think he was almost kind of saying, and obviously if Greg, if you're watching, forgive me if I've got this wrong, but if it's almost like he was saying, I've had to work at this, it's not something that people just walk into. And he kind of misunderstood, because obviously with Brickworld is a little bit more, that kind of, what do you call it? Streamers alley, if you like, or whatever it's called. It's something that's been established over time, and they encourage more people to do that, to fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
But with Bricktastic, obviously they're not. And I knew that was probably the case, because if it had been the case, we would have heard about Bricktastic a lot sooner, because, it's less than a year ago since I first ever heard of it. And at that point, it was kind of too late for me to go. So, I don't feel like it's showcased enough. And I don't know what that reason is. Obviously things fly under the radar all the time. But I know I've met Lego fans at Brick Festival events that I've worked at, and they're like, we lived here for years. There's been one year every year, and I've never heard of it. You're always going to miss things. I get that. But
yeah, I
think, what I was trying to say to Greg is that, I'm just asking if there's an opportunity to do that. I'm not saying, so it's almost like, he's kind of saying, look, you've got to build relationships and trust with people. And I get that, but, it's got to start somewhere, hasn't it? So,
yeah, of
I just want to know, because I'm more than happy to reach out to him, email him and say, is it something to do? I wasn't asking him to do that for us. I just want to know if it's worth doing that. Because if they're going to turn around and go, no, we don't allow that kind of thing, then I'm, wasting my time. But he did say, remember, Brickworld is a very hyped up convention and no others come close to being influencer friendly. So I was just like, look, I wasn't thinking so much about being official or anything, just more, because obviously, like he's saying, he's taking 3 years to be the official streamer. I'm not saying we want to do that, and we may never go again. So it's more of a, one-off. I was more asking if they've got the space or the allowance for people to do streams in there, whether that be a specified location or floating about the convention. So what that means is that I didn't realize till recently the BrickFest encourages people to stream from the show. Obviously, they haven't got a location to do it from or a set desk, and that's something I'm going to work on, potentially hoping to encourage them to change. And maybe do myself in future, maybe next year. But they allow people to go around and stream and video it. And they what I've noticed recently is people who are doing that will create videos, whether it be live or after the fact, and they tag them in it as a sponsor. They actually add that to their site, so they are encouraging of that. And that's basically all I was asking, because even if we can just kind of go live and just put the portable mics on and between us kind of walk around and have a little chat about the mocks, I don't want to be doing that and then someone turn around and go, you're not supposed to be doing that, you can't do that here or whatever. So it's just almost like, is that kind of allowed? I said, but yeah, our regular show is Sunday and the Hype for Bricktastic will be part of at least one of these episodes. It is difficult to do more than 1 or 2 hype episodes as we know very little about the show collectively. The difference with Brickworld when we did that for multiple weeks was that we had learned so much about the show over previous years via the coverage, sharing and showcasing the community had done. So it was almost like we'd been there. We were that, and we were only one step.
Potential guests and people you could have come in and pop in and out of the show to give a different insight. Whereas with Bricktastic, there's I don't know anyone that's been, apart from probably, like, you can probably count on one hand the amount of people I know who's been.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I say here. I said I didn't even hear about it or know it existed until a few months before 2025 show. And likewise with most people I speak to. So effectively, I was hoping we could help to improve that awareness, put Bricktastic on the map more by doing some hype before, during, and after, the latter being dependent on how supportive they are and how good it actually is. I'm very transparent with our viewers and will be honest and or not go back if I think it's poor. But I'm certain from the little I have heard and seen that it will be a great event. So without that, I didn't want it to sound like I was slamming the place, but what I was also saying is I'm not going to blow smoke. Like, I see a lot of stuff on, like, I don't know whether this gets to anybody else, but I've been seeing, and they do my head in anyway, when you see the same video over and over and over again. And I like originality, and I don't like this kind of, everything's kind of, a copied version of what someone else is doing. And it's almost impossible to avoid. Nothing you do in a community this big is ever going to be, you're never going to be the first to do anything, right? But at least add your own spin, your own face, your own voice, your own ums and your own ahs, your own mistakes, kind of thing, to make it yours. That's what I believe in. That's what I like to see. And I just seeing these videos. I mean, it doesn't help that I don't like the set or I'm disinterested in the set, but the Star Trek thing. And you're watching the same video over and over again from slightly different angles of them uncovering it, and everyone going, ooh, and I'm like, really?
I hate them bloody reveal videos where
you're doing that because you've got to,
and they've just got like this cloth, and it's like it's like they're doing a magic trick, and the crowd are like, ooh, it's like the added background music that like sitcoms from the 70s had, where it was all
canned laughter, like
ooh,
and there's nothing inherently wrong with that, because all they're doing is they've been invited there. They're obviously ambassadors for Lego. So when you're an ambassador for something, you are on your best behavior. You do, you're there to kind of blow smoke up someone's ass, essentially. Which is why, like, I've spoken to people and they're like, oh, I noticed that you kind of you share leaks and rumors on your streams and you swear sometimes on your stream. You do realize that Lego kind of sometimes sees this stuff, and if you ever make it like a big channel or whatever, they'll look back at stuff like that and they'll stop you from ever getting in LAN or whatever. And I'm like, what? why do you assume that everybody's goal in this community is to be in LAN? And this person wasn't, but I guess I said that might be your future goal, but I've already achieved my goal. My goal is to have a stream that people tune into week in, week out, and they enjoy it, and we have a good laugh. I've already achieved it. If it
Yeah.
stops tomorrow, I've ticked that box. Obviously, yeah, I want it to get bigger and get greater, but not because I want to be making money off it. I want to retire and all that kind of stuff. That's everybody has those shitty pipe dreams, is like winning the lottery or whatever. But I just want more people to enjoy it. I want this to turn from, it's a little sitting room with a few people on the couch to, a family party where, the music's pumping and people are dancing on the dance floor. But I still want that same kind of close-knit environment. I want more people to enjoy it. And I'm happy to change, adapt, try new things if it means getting more people in on the circle, but not at the cost of selling myself, not at the cost of lying to the viewers, not at the cost of not being transparent and honest, and not at the cost of my own integrity or not being myself. And being like, oh, I get it. Like, obviously, we've had kids on the show in the past, right? Brick Bear was on the show, and we've got another kid coming up on the show, and I'm going to be well behaved and better behaved, and
of course, but that's just common sense at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's respect. That's respect. That's a little bit different from being like, this set is amazing because I'm worried someone might see it and I might get kicked out of something if I say anything otherwise. Like, I ain't about that. That's and I get that. There's a lot of people out there that say the same thing. I'm not the first person to have that kind of belief system, but it just kind of grates me when you see the same thing over and over again, and people do. And I don't even know how I got into this conversation. I know that Greg is one of those people whose goal is to be in LAN. I get that. I'm not saying that he changes himself or he's sacrifices integrity to do that, because he's been doing this for a long time, right? And obviously,
Greg.
I genuinely feel like he deserves it for the work he does and everything. But sometimes I feel like there are conversations I've had with people where I don't know. I kind of got the vibe that it was like our goal was to be something other than what it actually is. And essentially what I've said at the end of that message to Greg is the most important part, which is that I want to go to Bricktastic. I want to cover it because I want other people to enjoy it. Like we went to Brickworld and had a fantastic time, and a life-changing experience. And that was based on the people out there who did something that nobody else had done before, or very little people had done before, and showcased it. Took their time to not just be there, but let other people at home enjoy that experience. And I was watching ACOB when they went to the first show they did, and they just had like a little desk, and there was no actual streaming area. They just kind of set it up themselves. And there was a few people there was like 2 or 3 people stood in the background. And I watched that show and I was like, wow, this kind of looks like a great thing. And I'm not saying that they kind of, reinvented the wheel, and came up with this idea, or, they're the first people to ever do something like that. But the respect for me goes out for them for using time that they could have just been enjoying themselves and each other and, whatever. And trying to give something back to the community and be like, look, guys, this is amazing. Do you know what I mean? You're taking out, and that was what I wanted to do obviously it was a kind of ticking a box and a kind of what do you want to call it, like a bucket list thing to be able to do a stream from there. But you've got to bear in mind is that at the time when we booked the tickets, the show had only been going a month, and I kind of decided that I wanted to go to Brickworld before we even had a show. So that wasn't like something like a bucket list thing really, because it wasn't like, oh, let's start a show so that we could be at Brickworld next year. Do you know what I mean? It was just like something that as time got closer and closer, I thought maybe we could have a go at this. I didn't ask anybody if it was okay to do a stream out there until we were already there. So we had no plans to formally do a stream. I'd mentioned on streams running up to it that we'd like to, and we'd give it a go and whatever. But I hadn't actually reached out to Mark or Sean or anybody and said, can we have a time slot? Any of that kind of stuff. It was just, we'll see what happens when we get out there. And anyway, basically
the difference though, isn't it, between Brickworld and what we're going to find out at Bricktastic, I suppose, is it's very, very, and again, I don't know whether that's just, not English. I don't know whether this is just like British culture and Lego compared to like American culture with Lego. I feel like, again, I ain't been over there, so I don't know, but I just feel like it's a much bigger scene for them over there than it is for us here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So again, I don't know whether it's something to do with that. And then Bricktastic, because it's like it's for charity and it's run by a charity. Maybe they are more not concerned, but maybe they have to be a bit more careful with like vetting who's doing what, as not just like attendees, but say if we were to run a stream from there, they'd probably want to know who we are, what we're going to be talking about. They've probably got to be a lot more careful in there because it's a charity. Like they've got a charity name to it. So again, it's just the difference of convention, I suppose. But this is all stuff we're going to find out, and it would have been good. You can see both sides, can't you? You can see, like Greg saying, he's the only one. He's worked hard to, earn the trust off Bricktastic. So fair play.
Yeah.
But then there's people like us who want to sort of, get our point of view across to like our community, people who are going to watch us, and then maybe others who are just going to like stumble across it and think, oh, this is the biggest convention in Europe. What do these guys think of it? With their honest opinions, because it's like you say, and this is not just land members, but a lot of the time, some people aren't prepared to put out their honest opinions. So, and with Bricktastic not having that much content, it would have been cool for people to hear our point of views. And Greg will do an amazing job anyway. But again, it's like the more content you see, you'd imagine the better for Bricktastic. It's more people putting their name out there. But yeah, it's it's not the end of the world. I suppose you can. Suppose if you really wanted to do something, you could just set up a stream and we could just do it handheld and walk around showing mocks and stuff for an hour or whatever.
Well, yeah, but even with that, I'd want to get clarity that that's okay to do first. And the main reason I ask Greg is because of what you just pointed out, which I completely overlooked when I was just kind of reciting it, is that I want to make sure that I'm not treading on his toes by doing something from there, whether it be live and walk in the hall or whether we do something. I mean, I'm not, making any apologies for what we do Sunday night. Any hype that we do up to it will be based on other people's opinions and from what we've read and what little we've seen. And any hype, but anything afterwards will be purely down to our own experience. But again, if I think it's poor, and I did enjoy myself, and I was very transparent about Brickworld. Brickworld wasn't perfect, and my experience on that trip, Brickworld aside, wasn't perfect. Like, it was life-changing. It was one of the best holidays and trips I've ever had, don't get me wrong. But that doesn't mean, like, I've been on some fantastic holidays, but there's been things about, like, we went to New York. We had the time of our lives in New York, but the hotel was a nightmare because they weren't particularly friendly. The air conditioning wasn't working. It was boiling hot. We couldn't even just chill out in the room for the few hours we were there every night and watch telly because the TV was broke, or it worked, but there was no remote control. And we complained about it, and they said they were going to drop one up to the room, and they didn't. And it's like, we were in and out so much, we just gave up in the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of forced to remember those things because I remember all the good stuff. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to, if asked, not going to say, well, actually, there was this and this. And if somebody was going to say to me, look, I'm going to New York, can you guide me through it? And I can tell them a million things they should do, shouldn't do, whatever. But one thing I will say is don't stay in the DoubleTree Hilton in New York, because we went like up a few classes. We could have stayed in some dive in New York, because you can imagine they've got every variation of hotel, from like the piece of shit hotels to the 5-star luxury. So we went up quite high. DoubleTree Hilton is generally pretty good. I was really disappointed to the point where I don't think I'd stay in a DoubleTree Hilton anywhere again. Yeah. And I know that's saying something because, one hotel is not the same as the other, but it was poor. But what I'm saying is that it's no reason to bring that up. Obviously, that, if somebody says, how was your trip in New York? I wouldn't go, well, the hotel was crap. I wouldn't lead with that. But I'd be honest if somebody wanted that feedback. And obviously here, that's what we're doing. So I'm going to say, look, Bricktastic was fantastic. I think it was a little bit disappointing the way this happened, that happened, whatever. But this was great, that was great. You know what I mean? I try to give a nice rounded opinion because that's what I would appreciate. And there are people out there who will only talk about the positives, blow smoke up, whatever. You ain't going to get that here, unless, of course, it was all good, in which case I'll say that. But essentially, I think my conversation with Greg was kind of a two-pronged thing. One is, don't want to tread on your toes, because I know you've worked hard to get this kind of role, but we'd like to do something from there if it's possible. And two is, the reason we want to do that is because Bricktastic has been running in this country in an area where I'm relatively familiar, i.e. Manchester, and I've never heard of it until, just before 2025. So it's not even been a year yet since I first heard of it, and it's been going for years. It's supposed to be the biggest in Europe. Hadn't heard of it.
Biggest in Europe.
And I've been in the Lego community for a long, long time. Don't get me wrong, I've only been on sort of, this show's only been going like, I don't know, just over a year. And prior to that, I was in the community for a few years, but I've been in the AFOL community to the point where, I was hearing about things like Brickworld and some of these conventions and stuff since Force Awakens came out. So you're talking 2015, maybe a bit earlier than that.
Yeah.
And that was when I first started, it was different. It was Facebook groups and stuff like that, and a little bit of YouTube. But the point is that I've been in it and I'd never heard of it. I'd heard of Brickworld and watched streams about Brickworld and content about Brickworld in the droves, and watched like videos live from there 2 years before I'd even heard of Bricktastic, which was essentially up the road. Yeah. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to say, oh, well, they're doing a shit job, they're not advertising or whatever. I'm just saying, that I can't be the only person. I know I'm not, because Slurpee, Whittaker, yourself, they've all, pretty much everybody said to me that, it's kind of, and I know Greg's been around. He's been going, I don't know how long, but based on what he was saying, it's been like 3 years of building this relationship. Well, I know he's been in the Lego community for 7 years, and I know Bricktastic's been going longer than 3. So, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's our responsibility, because of this platform that we've got, as small as a platform it is, you just about get a big toe on there compared to other people's platforms. But it's our responsibility in a Lego community as adults to be able to give other people that experience, so they know about it and can go again. Or if they can't go, and they can never go because they're, they haven't got people to go with, or they haven't got that kind of money, or because they're from the other side of the world, that they can find out about it and see the information, see some content. And I'm not seeing any of that even now. When I'm looking for it, I'm not finding that kind of stuff for Bricktastic. And if they say no to us and Greg wants to do it and whatever, that's fine. And I'm still going to go, still going to have a great time, still going to talk about it afterwards. But it's like, you kind of, places like this have kind of, you kind of think to yourself, get on board, like, join, they should be looking at people like Brickworld and saying, well, actually, Brickworld is doing that and it's going from strength to strength. We got to at least try it. I mean, I guess that's why.
I suppose with like my thinking behind it as well is like looking at Brickworld. It's not a jealousy thing. It's like well, I suppose it is in a sense. It's like, oh, I wish we had what they have here, because there's people. It's like, for my instance, I can't afford to go to Brickworld next year, and there's a lot of people, Europeans, especially Brits, who are going to be in that same position. They'd love to go, and they're just, it's not feasible. So why can't we make something? Why can't we have our own Brickworld here? And again, this is Bricktastic might be as, obviously, we know it's not gonna, but we might enjoy it just as much as, or you might enjoy it just as much as you enjoy Brickworld. And then if we can sort of, get more people excited, then that means maybe like if we want to go next year, then maybe
absolutely
more of the Brits to come and meet us. And then if that's years of success, then maybe the year after, maybe some of the people across the world think, oh, these lads and this group are having a mint time at Bricktastic every year, I want to go.
Well, look at the conversation. I think we on this stream, Padawan was in here and we were talking, and we were on the kind of the heels of, and I saw it in a few other streams as well. We were on the heels of Brickworld, and we were all kind of hyped from that. And there was talk of like Austin was going to come across, Moore was going to come across, and I knew at the time it's just, it's a little bit of kind of, getting a little bit excited, getting a bit carried away. I'm going to go there, I'm going to come there. But the point is that they were like eager to sample something else, and they wanted to come across, and they were going to come over, and even Hivers talked about coming across to Bricktastic or whatever. They had a point where even like Tyler was like, I might come over and do a thing, and all that died out. That kind of, which I got a feeling it would anyway, because it's just kind of piss and wind, right?
Yeah.
But also, I feel like it was because with Brickworld, we're talking about it kind of all year round. We finish it, and then everybody's hyped from it, and then we're booking the tickets, and then you know what I mean. And we were doing that before we'd ever even been, because we're surrounded by people who have been, and they're getting hyped up. And there was a lot of people who went to that Brickworld that we went to. It was their first one as well. I would say probably 75% of the people who I was communicating with out there had never been before either. And it was like, but to have that kind of level of hype, obviously what you said is spot on. If those guys had that same level of hype coming from Bricktastic, outwardly from Bricktastic to them, I think that piss and wind would have been more likely to become, realistic goals and realistic arrangements. And again, like you said, if we go, we enjoy Bricktastic, the hype works, we have a good experience there, regardless of whether we stream there from there or not, that's just a bonus. But if we do all that, then you're right. I'll be like, okay, I'm going to go to Brickworld this year, because I will have, at that point, I'll already be kind of probably book my flights or whatever if I am going to go.
Yeah.
But next year, do you know what? I'm gonna keep the hype train running for Bricktastic as a kind of payback to them and the community, and try to even if between this Bricktastic, if it's good, and next Bricktastic, we get 1-2 more people and grow, and then we can be ambassadors for it. Maybe not the spokesperson for it, because that's Greg, but we can help and we can support that, and we can be like, yeah, Bricktastic this, Bricktastic that, and maybe get a few more people and create it. And then I won't be as bothered, like you said, I won't be as bothered if I can't go to Brickworld, because I'll be like, well, no, all the UK guys, we've got our Brickworld here.
Doorstep.
Yeah, and if you guys want to come and see us, come and see, and there's going to be people from the UK who'll still go, and there'll still be that FOMO or whatever. But I want the people in the US to have the same FOMO when they can come over for the Bricktastic. And we could make it a week-long thing next year. We could all go for, it might only still be a 2-day event, but we could all go for a couple of days before, go to the Lego store, to whatever, do some streams, hang about in a hotel, hang about in the Trafford Centre. And I'm actually tempted to do that kind of stuff. Like what you guys were saying, I want to go to the Trafford Centre. I want to live stream some of it. I want to have the mics on. I want to be walking on the Lego store with you guys and being like, would you buy that? And just, but obviously our own version of it, where we were just ripping into each other. Right, we're all going for food now, guys. What we do? Do you know what I mean? And it might be in the form of, and I only say live stream because I feel like I'm more likely to do that. Whereas if I film content for it, I'll never sit down and put that together in a vlog or anything. I'll just never get around to it. But if we do it like live in little snaps and shots here and there, I feel like it'd be good. It'd be great. And we can, and even though it's not us filming Bricktastic in terms of the event, it's everything that surrounds it and creating that vibe. Like next year, guys, if you come out, we'll do this. We'll stay in this hotel. We'll do this. Or we're all going down for breakfast now, guys. We're going to do this. Go to Trafford Centre today. Do you know what I mean? And make a, kind of do some live coverage of it, and really do that kind of thing. That's what I want to try and do when we're out there, and hopefully it'll come to fruition. But yeah, look, needless to say, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's going to be good, and I'm hoping the reasons that I haven't heard of it before, and it doesn't seem to get as much sort of hype as something from the other side of the world. I'm hoping it's just because they,
advertising.
Their advertising is a bit kind of off cuff, or there's just, I'm not listening. I'm not shouting down this, listening out through the same portholes as people are shouting down or whatever, and not because it's not a great event,
Well,
so
that's it. We've got to remember, and I fall into this trap all the time. The Lego community is massive in it compared to like what we're used. Like there's hundreds and thousands of Lego fans, people who have not heard of ACOB, and it's weird to think that, in it, because like to us they're massive, like it's a massive community, but then there's people in the Lego community across the world who won't have a clue who they are. So and then there's going to be other communities which we haven't even heard of yet, which are probably massive as well. So maybe it is being advertised in big communities, but just not ours. But this is all the excitement as well. Like we'll find all this stuff out come February next year. I'm just really glad it's sort of happened. I know there's the 5 of us staying over, and I wouldn't put it past Padawan either to be staying over too. I know he's very busy at the moment. I caught up with him on WhatsApp a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, do you know what? I feel awful because I completely forgot I was going to reach out to him and see if he was still going and if he wanted to book a room. But
well, I already spoke to him about it because I don't think he'll mind me saying he's very busy with work at the moment. Like he's not been very active online either. I think he's pretty full ham at work until around Christmas time. And I said, look, well, we're booking a room. We're booking rooms. If you do want to come to Bricktastic still, we can always sort it at the end. You could just crash on, I don't know, it's a problem we can sort out close to the time. Because he can't book anything until he knows if he's working or not. I think if he's not working, 99.9% chance he will come. With him, it just depends whether he's going to be working, and with what he does, he won't know until a little bit close to the time. But he's got his tickets anyway, so
yeah.
I think that's just more of a play it by ear sort of scenario. But
because even in that UK boys, whatever you want to call it, chat, at one point, like it felt like there was about 30 people in there going. And I don't know, obviously I don't keep up with that chat, so I don't know what the situation is.
There's us going, us 5. Padawan's got a ticket. Jedi Master Bricks is coming, but he's only going to do the Saturday. But he's coming, so it'd be cool to meet him as well because he's a good lad.
How come he's only doing the Saturday then? I'm guessing he's driving there and back. Is he going to kick about for a few hours afterwards? And
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I know he's got 2 young kids, so it's probably just stuff to do with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done really well to manage to come for as long as I am, to be honest, because my missus' birthday on the Thursday before. So really, that's her birthday weekend, but I've told her I'll take the Thursday off work and just take her out for the day and make up for it then. So I'm going to have a few days off in the build up for it, just so that I could smooth it over with her to get the weekend off. But because it's harder to get like as we get older, it's harder to arrange things, isn't it? That's why I'm so chuffed that we've sort of done it now, because I was worried it was going to end up being a thing where it'd just be talked about, and then nothing, and then it'd stop, and then nothing would happen.
Yeah.
Because it's especially for me personally, missing out on Brickworld, and you 3 went 4 with CJ. I was gutted. Like I have massive FOMO. So
I can imagine.
To get this going now, I'm dead excited, mate.
Yeah, well, I'll show this on here briefly. I won't throw it up on the screen. There's no details on there, but just because it's not exciting to look at. But the first room is booked. So this is the room I'm in with, I'm guessing Witticky, because I gathered you guys had kind of arranged you were going to stay together, which is fine by me. But yeah, so I didn't realize the room rates are slightly different each night.
Right.
I don't know what that's all about.
I hadn't really arranged to who was bunking with who, to be honest. But I know when I was speaking to Slurpee about it before, I was going to go with the option of paying later, just because I thought, it's extra in my pocket around Christmas. But that was the only reason me and Slurp, we sort of agreed on that. So that's the only reason. I'm happy to bunk up with whoever, mate. And if it's all booked, that's something that could be drawn out of a hat even, couldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not that bothered, to be honest with you. Like I said, I think I said last time, there's the people who snore should be in the room together. So I know Muttley's got his own room for that reason. But I think Slurpee, if I remember rightly, I said I snore a lot. Slurpee was like, and so was Martin. And then I can't remember exactly how the conversation went, but it basically turned out that at one point I was awake in the night and both of them were snoring like super loud anyway. So it's just like, I don't feel so bad now. And then the next morning it was like, oh, you snoring last night. And I was like, listen, right, I know I snore. So that's me off the table. But you two, when I was awake, were both snoring like super loud, like almost like you were out battling each other. So there's no complaints about snoring from anybody to anybody in this room because I've witnessed it firsthand. But they all said it. Like Whittaky, I think, was getting up early to go out for a toke or whatever, and he was like, me and Slurpee were like battling, and then I think Slurpee had got up to phone his missus like late at night or whatever, and me and Whittaky were going for it. So it was like, it is what it is, isn't it? So usually that's if ever I'm in a situation where I'm splitting rooms with people, I always say, look, I snore a lot. So if anybody else snores as well, I may as well come in the room with me. Because although I do snore a lot, I'm also a heavy sleeper. So other people snoring won't bother me because, it don't make a difference. I can sleep through it. In fact, it helps me go to sleep. So, no. So, my mum's booked the one, and the room night's the difference. If Whittaky, if you're listening to this, so it's 85 quid for the first night, Friday night, 162 for the Saturday night, and then the Sunday night is 65. Thank God, because that's the night I'm staying on my own, so I'm going to pay as much. So it'll be 162 split two ways. What's that? 81, and then 85 split two ways. What's that? 42.50. So it's going to be 120 and some change. 126, about 130 quid for 2 nights with breakfast for Whittaky. And that works out, what's that? 65 quid. So yeah, it's still pretty decent.
Bad, that is. What's you just have to let me know the details, mate, and I'll get the money sent over to you.
My mum's just messaged me now, so she put that one in my name, but it's saying now that she's got to have a different name for the other room. So I don't know. I mean, you don't need to have all the details. She said it's just a different name. She'll probably get away with putting the same address in. She'll put my address in. So can I put yours in, mate?
Yeah.
Let me just try and remember the surname.
Clark.
Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't want to ask you on here.
No, I'm not bothered.
Is it with an E, with the E on the end, or
without an A?
Without.
Yeah. And it's not Jeff either. My name's not Jeff. As much as Slurpee keeps calling me Jeff. It was on the it's because of that. I had that K-Town bricks ordered, didn't I?
Yeah. That was funny, that was actually, because we were like, Slurpee was like, do you know what Nimble's real name is? I was like, no. I said, I don't ask people their real names. Yeah. He's like, oh, right. He said, because this is coming. He says, and on the back, it says, order for Jake. And I was like, yeah, maybe that's his name then. But then there was something else, something that I can't remember whether there was a slip of paper in there, like an invoice or something. And the invoice said Jeff something. And he was like, hang about. Is it Jeff? And I said, I think he's more of a Jake than a Jeff. No offense to any Jeffs watching, but I was like, I don't know. I feel like that's a generation above him. I don't think even I know anybody my age called Jeff. More like a Whittaky or slightly older kind of generation. Anyway, that's how we went. Like, and I think he like sent you a voice note or something. I remember we would walk in the halls and we were sending voice notes back and forth to you, just to try and, because I was like, look, before we send, I think I actually asked you this. I can't remember, but I remember thinking or talking to the guys or talking to you and being like, look, do you want to hear from us or would you rather not? Because I know at one point, you wanted to go or whatever. Then it was off the, we were trying to get you to go. And anyway, long story short, I was like, if it was me, I wouldn't want to be getting, I don't know, I might feel differently if it actually happened, but I wouldn't want to, if everybody else was there but me kind of thing, I wouldn't want to be getting the voice notes because I'd be like, look, don't fucking rub it in.
I loved them, I did.
But I was like, are you okay with it kind of thing? And I think you were like, nah, fucking crack on, mate, or whatever. And we were just like, that was it then, back and forth. And I remember him saying something like that. He's like, "Oh yeah," and I think he's. I'd have to listen to him. Well, obviously it wasn't to me, so I can't even listen to him back. But I'm pretty sure we were talking to you about something. We're like, "Oh, anyway, yeah, nice one, Jake. See you later." And we just said that at the end just to see if you were like, "What? Who?"
Yeah.
And see if you twig like. But
He's every time. Well, pretty much any time he voice notes me now, it's just like, "All right, Jeff." Like, for fuck's sake.
yeah.
But
well,
now
I get Luke and Han Luke.
you get
And
Luke Han, don't you? From
off Whittaker, I do, yeah.
Cool Luke Han.
The cool Luke Han. I tell you what was funny as well is that I was watching the show, and they were like, "Oh, I really wanted to put like a thumbs up or a thumbs down for that. Oh, I wish we'd done that." And I was listening and being like, "Really, guys? I spent ages doing this."
Yeah.
And that was for a stream we'd done like weeks ago. So they're already on here. They're on here, ready to go. Because I remember saying to the guys, "Look, we'll keep these on here. They'll be useful for something else." Just look at the stuff that's in front of you. But yeah, there was that, and there was something else. What else were they talking about? Oh no, they had a picture of. It was clearly the Ben Affleck, Batmobile. And they were like, "Oh, I don't know. This isn't from a film or anything. I don't know whose Batmobile this is." And I was like, "What the fuck you on about? That's the one. That's the Justice League Batmobile. You don't see it very much, but clearly it's the Justice League." And they were like, and I was just thinking, it's great that they've done this, but neither of them knew fuck all about Batman. Like, I'm not an expert, don't get me wrong, but I know the difference in like the films and which one was from which and all the rest of it. So it was just funny to see them just fumbling their way through it. Like,
yeah, fair play. Bloody hell, have you seen that? Seen what Muttley's put? My Star Wars collection stands at 2,100 plus sets at the moment.
But how many individual sets? That's like 21 sets, right? 21 battle packs, and he's got like 1,000 of each. No, how about? I'd be interested to know. Have you ever counted how many individual sets? Because there isn't that many individual sets, I don't think. So that's obviously duplicates. And I know he hasn't got every set. So I think there's like, last I remember somebody counted, there was like, is there like 900 and something sets? I don't even think there's 1,000. I might be wrong. I mean, obviously you've got all these, where do you draw the line? Because you've got all these like sets that came out at celebrations and God knows where else. Anyway. Enterprise is 350. I just can't. I mean, it does. I got to be careful what I say now, because I wouldn't say I haven't slated it as such, but it does look good in terms of looking like what it's supposed to look like, but it doesn't look good because of what it is. If that makes sense. So because it's the Enterprise, it looks like dog shit, but it looks like it, they've done a good job of making it look like the Enterprise. So I admire the build or the building ability, but I don't admire the theme. Oh, Whittaker's just popped in now.
Hello. Hope you don't mind. I won't stop long because I'm at work.
All right, Mark.
Just wanted to say hello.
How's it going, mate?
Yeah, I come on the right moment. So you like the look of it, but not what it is.
No, I wouldn't even say I like the look of it, because it looks like a Star Trek ship. So therefore it looks shit. But I mean, how well they've done it. Like,
yeah, that's what I meant.
In terms of like a set looking the closest to what it's possibly based on, it's probably one of the best sets I've ever seen, including most Star Wars sets. In terms of detail, it's just so well done.
Yeah.
But it's just like...
we've said this before about like sort of sequel sets as well, just because the films, sometimes the actual set is pretty good. So
yeah.
How is everyone?
Good, mate. And I've been watching back the live show, and I was just saying this just before you came on. There's a few parts in there where you're like, "Oh, I give this one a thumbs up. Oh, I wish I'd done a thumbs up thing. I wish I'd done a thumbs up thing."
Oh,
they've been on here for months, mate. I left them on there specifically for that. So I was like that, shouting at the screen while I was doing the dishes or whatever. And I was like, there are. Just look. I've done them. I spent hours on them. Use them.
Oh, no, right. Yeah. Oh, hello, everyone. Everyone's saying hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, Liam. Hello, Paddy.
Dubs for Witty. Key.
So, Mark, we've got the hotel sorted, mate. For
Cool.
Mine and yours is booked,
Hi,
mate.
Martin.
The only thing I didn't realise is that. Oh wait a second, my mum's just asked me to check another one. Details.
Yeah.
have you built this yet? Oh,
Yes, I have. Yeah, I wasn't going to, and I just couldn't help it.
it's great fun, isn't it?
It is. I don't know if you've seen what I think Martin saw. I had like a spare like Christmas jumper, so I made an AT-AT driver, as you know, with a little Christmas jumper and stuck him in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I saw. Brilliant.
Yeah, but I mean, when Christmas comes, that'll be surrounded by all the bad, all the bad side Christmas figures I have.
I'm gonna put this up as the first Christmas decoration tonight.
Because when I started collecting Lego and stuff, I went back and bought a lot of like secondhand ones and stuff, but a lot of the old advent calendars just for the Christmas figures.
Yeah.
Especially when I bought that the Millennium Falcon, that I know it's a sequel set, but I just put all my Christmas,
I've done the same. Just put
all the
all
Rebel
Christmas
Rebel
jumper
ones in
set.
there.
Figures in
So-
it.
Well, I bought two actually, and I turned one into like more of a sort of dark side one, but now I can put them all in the AT-AT.
Yeah, nice one. So, Mark, what made you because you were so not stubborn about it, but you were very set in stone that you weren't going to come to Bricktastic. So,
Oh, he's playing hard to get. He was.
No,
He
He wanted
was.
us all. He wanted us all to beg him to go.
it's because I just
until he
couldn't
realised
really-
that weren't going to
Right.
happen.
Can I answer?
Are we doing this or what?
Because because I was thinking about the money that I couldn't. I mean, that's why I haven't really replied much the last couple of days. I've had a bit of my cars cost me God knows how much money. I don't say too much yet because Liam's in the chat. But it's money's. I've just basically had to spend out 500 quid on my car.
Stop spending thousands of pounds on Star Wars sets then. Lego
I haven't
sets.
bought a Star Wars set that was the last one I bought.
Sorry, Mum.
Yeah. I mean, I won't mention that I bought the Goonies set, but
There you go. See?
yeah, but that was before I thought my car.
Priorities, mate. Priorities.
But I've been told, like the cam belt's gone and whatever. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so
Rid of it, mate.
do you know what? I'd rather just get it done and then I know it's fixed because the hassle of trying to sell a car, then I can't afford a real nice car, so I might end up buying an old banger anyway. So I might as well just get it fixed, and I know it's
100%, mate. You're right with that because the money and effort it takes to sort out a new car, it's just not worth the hassle.
By the way, if I suddenly disappear, it's because the other people have come back. Because we've all been out. We took the kids ice skating tonight, which was great fun.
Did you stay as well?
Sorry?
Are you any good?
Well, I used to be. I mean, I used to years ago. I went, but I haven't been for about 10 years or whatever. It took a couple of times, but then once I got back on my feet, it wasn't too bad, but nothing like what I used to be. And blimey, was only on the ice for half an hour. My feet, mate, are cut up to pieces with those bloody boots. I've got blisters already. Bloody nightmare.
You had them on the wrong way, did you?
Hey? No.
You're supposed to be cutting the ice, not your feet.
Yeah, it's fine. No, they just got Leo in there. Sorry, I'll mute. Sorry.
You should tell him he should be working. He was just telling us that he was going to slack off and he wasn't going to do any work all night. He's going to be on the computer. He's muted the wrong thing. He's muted himself rather than mute us. He said he hates his job. He can't wait to quit. Turn the volume down. Put your computer on mute, you donut. Oh, anyway.
Well, now he won't be able to afford Bricktastics. He's just been sacked.
Well, we heard you were leaving anyway, so we're going to let you go.
I can't believe he hates his job. It's one of the nurses. It was all right.
Oh, mate, I can't wait. This is what I'm looking forward to. And the annoying part is that my mum just asked me to check the information, and I'm like, oh, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's February. Oh, it's like 3 months away. Yeah?
So how do you want me? Do you want to send it to, or can you tell me how much it is now on here, or do you want to just send?
Yeah, because it's a bit confusing because basically,
let me know, and I'll send it, and I'll send you the PayPal straight away. So
yeah, so basically, what it's worth letting you know. It's worth letting you know that the room price for each night is different.
Right.
So it's not a simple case of splitting it 3 ways, but
okay.
But I think it works out about, what did we say, Nimble, about 120,
65 quid a night each, and that was with breakfast, wasn't it? You said.
So yeah, so you're looking about 130-ish.
Okay. Sorry, when you said I thought you meant 120 a night. Then I thought, Jesus Christ.
No, 130 for the 2 nights for you.
Yeah,
mine's slightly different because the extra night. My mum's booked another one now, and the price is different on that one for some reason, even though.
Right, well, I'll send that because that's more
Mate,
money.
Yeah, that's
the World Fund.
Mark,
Yeah,
I wouldn't stress. Say if mine and Slurpy's room ends up being a little bit more than what yours and Whitaker's is, don't worry about it because your mum is still saving us money compared to if I was going to book it myself. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's because I'm trying to do the maths in my head. So ours came to 312 for the whole stay. And then now with your room added on top, she sent me a subtotal and it's 474. And I'm like, hang about, how come theirs is only like 160 odds? But then, of course, I've forgotten that because our booking has got the extra night on. And I was trying to work it out, split the cost 3 ways.
That's a lot of math, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out.
I'm only staying Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah, that's what we're all
doing. Same as everybody. So,
right,
but that's why it's because I've got the extra night on the Sunday, and it's a different cost to the other 2 nights. Like it's cheaper for the Sunday night because obviously it usually is in Premier Inn. Then it's throwing the amount out. So it's best to just wait till I've got it all and then look at it. So.
All right. Well, as soon as you know, just let me know, and I'll say I've got it. So and I'll send it straight over. I suppose I've got to book the bloody tickets now as well, haven't
I? Oh, they've sold out, mate. Did you not know?
You said that last time. That's and I've already looked today. So, but it's weird because you can't just book 2. You've got to book them separately, haven't you? You've got to book one Saturday and then go back in and book another one Sunday. What a pain in the backside! Why can't you just buy 2 at the same time?
We don't do like weekend tickets or anything. Papa Trip's out there. We're doing Papa Trip.
Papa.
Sorry, I missed you, mate.
One thing I was like I said, I couldn't. I was far too stressed and busy to reply to some of the remarks on there. But when have I ever moaned about what the hotel? I don't give a crap.
Yeah, I don't know why you
like to moan, mate. That's all.
Yeah, no, I thought.
I don't remember. I don't remember him moaning. So if you got that from me, and I can't remember ever saying that.
It was just a light-hearted pop. Right. That's all.
Oh, that's okay then. I thought, God, have I been moaning? No, I know I moan about a few things, but not that. As long as it's a bed, mate, I don't care.
Yeah.
I take it they are twin rooms, though, are they? Or we share?
Yeah, well, it was actually cheaper to have
you
one
and top and tailing, mate.
Yeah, it was actually cheaper. It was actually cheaper to have one double bed and then one pull-out bed. But I didn't think it was fair to put someone in a situation, so we paid it's only like a difference of a tenner in total. Yeah, but we've got two single beds instead. So, but they're the same.
Well, who am I sharing with?
I think we're just going to do me and you, like young'uns versus the old cunts, basically. So
yeah, because that was the thing, right? I nearly put some on. I was like, right, thanks. So it looks like that I'm an old. I'm not going to say that word.
I put myself in that as well, mind. So
yeah. So not only am I an old, also a shit host.
When did I say you were a shit host?
You went, what was it? Hold on, I got it here. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I was like, we could do
shit hosts versus good hosts.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think of. So I thought of me and Whitaker versus you two, and then I did English versus Celts, which would be me and Slurpy and you two guys. And then I was trying to think, how can I put me and Nimble together and Whitaker and Slurpy together? And I was just like, they were about to do a show together, so I thought, yeah, I'll do shit hosts versus good hosts. No, I did say, mate, you don't need to track it. I thought you said that in this stream I was slagging you off Sunday.
No, I did
No,
find it
in
funny.
fact, I was really impressed. I was been watching it back, and I'm like, oh, it was really good banter. So,
Yeah, there you
but
go.
I was going to wait till I saw you both on
old
Sunday.
seas versus young uns, English versus Celts, good host Nimble and I versus shit hosts.
Guys, you guys in the chat, if you were kind of privy to some of the stuff that goes on in some of these chats, then yeah, your toes would curl. But we love a bit of it. And if you're out there and you're listening, and you're like, I feel like I'm getting some FOMO, come to Bricktastic. It's not too late.
Yeah.
It might be too late to get a room with us.
To answer your question as well, about what you asked earlier, like, yeah, it was the money first of all, but then it was like, yeah, it was a bit of a, no one's going to Brickworld now, so I might as well go along to Bricktastic. So,
mate, you'd have been gutted.
I didn't expect that. I mean, like I said, the last couple of months have been a bit nightmare. I've got the car now to sort out. My cat's cost me like £400-500. It's just, things are not going well.
I always thought when you said you weren't going to cut, I thought even at a minimum you should just come on the Saturday. 'Cause how much do you reckon travel is for a train ticket to Manchester and back? Probably like 50 quid. Do you reckon?
Nope.
More?
Nope. I'm getting Flixibus, $9.99.
Yeah, so I would have said that to you. Just come for the day, even on the Saturday.
Well, I've decided to go for the weekend now, so
yeah,
I wouldn't go right out there just and then not stay. I would have wanted to stay the night. So I might as well just stay 2 nights, do the whole thing. I'm also I think the Saturday as well. My friend who I've been playing Destiny with for 10 years, he lives in Manchester. He's going to pop in and say hello, so that'd be nice.
Bang on, mate.
507.
Okay, I've got to just put this out. £500 for cat. Guess I spent more. He's not been well, bless him. It's cost a lot.
Apologies to females watching, but
no, he means cats. I don't know what you mean.
572 different sets. So of his 2,100 sets, about less than a third of them are. So 2/3 of his sets are repeats.
Have you both gone on to the Disney, not Disney, sorry, the Lego site? And like, I don't know. Obviously, when you buy things from there, I know you don't buy things very often from the Lego shop, but when you do the points and stuff, it tells you what sets you've got, what you've registered, and then it tells you underneath how many actual pieces of Lego you have.
Really?
Like 92,000 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but they also do that on Brick set. Yeah, we'll do that for you as well if you've got them all listed.
Right, chaps, I'm gonna have to go, but I just wanted to pop in to say hello. I'll try and do the same tomorrow as well. It's a bad weekend, isn't it? I'm on all weekend. I'm not on Sunday night though, so I will be on the show.
You will be on the show, yeah. I need to ask if Slurpy's going to be on so I can get Nappy Buffalo to send some stuff across.
I am, I'm on early, so I finish at 2:30, so I will be.
Oh yeah,
I will be on this Sunday. But unfortunately,
do you snore, Whittaky?
Well, I say no, but you said I talked in. I talked in my sleep.
Bit of both, yeah.
God, that's worse.
So he's fighting, talking, dying, and snoring. Yeah.
I mean, probably at the time because I don't know if anyone knows, but I wasn't very well.
Well, yeah.
Mate, I can't help laughing now every time I say that.
Should have mentioned it, mate.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny.
I gotta say though, seeing you now, I actually thought about it when you were on the stream that I was watching back earlier when I was doing some housework or whatever, and I was like, because I think you mentioned something about Brickworld or whatever, and I was just like, seeing you in that stream and obviously seeing you now compared to what you look like out there, like, you must see it. I know you've said it. You must see it as well. That you.
Yeah, no, I use it because when I say to people I put on weight and they look at me and they go, where? And then I say, look at this, and they'll show a picture of Brickworld and they go, ooh, yeah.
Honestly, mate. Honestly, I think you are probably about 3 weeks away from dying.
Shouldn't laugh, really, should I?
Why not? You've got to laugh sometimes, mate, or you just go mental.
Well, if you don't laugh, you'll die.
You're fun, yeah. It's a good job I carried on laughing then.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully, you'll see be a bit more lively over the over Brickworld, Bricktastic. But yeah, looking forward to it now. I must admit, I think it'd be a bit of fun.
Right. One last thing before you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to record a voice message because my mum's finished the booking. So 2 of the rooms are under my name, and one of the rooms is under your name, Nimble. Okay. But I'm going to do a voice message for my mum now to say thank you. So you guys can chime in as well.
Okay. What's her name? Mrs.
Goat. Mum, I'm on the stream right now with 2 of the lads who we've booked rooms for. Obviously, we really appreciate you sorting that out for us, despite what was going on with Laura or whatever. So we're sorted. Looking forward to our breakfast. When we cut into those juicy sausages, we'll think about you. Wait, what? But yeah, the boys are here on the stream with me, and they just wanted to say a big thank you as well. But I've realised that I've got my headphones in, so that's not really going to work. So let me just detach these headphones so you can hear something. And we're gonna all sing you a happy thank you song. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Gotta hold out for it.
She's probably turned it off now.
How'd you say thank you in Welsh?
Oh
Do I
God.
just have to smash my head off the keyboard or something?
All right, I'm gonna have to send a separate one because this hasn't worked.
Tech diffs on a bloody voice note. Only you could have tech diffs on a voice note, mate. Something so simple.
Wow. Just tell her we're all very thankful. I'm sure she'll believe you. Anyway, I'm going to have to shoot off. So, oh God, there's a phone now as well. All right, take care, everyone. Have a lovely rest of the. I'll try and pop in tomorrow. Ta-da, everyone.
Ta-ra, Mark.
Shh. Oh, bloody hell.
I am indeed, Liam. Nearly finished. Got one side done. Just got to do the other side. I'm actually pretty chuffed with the size of it, to be honest, because, like I say, this is going on the mantelpiece, much to the missus' delight in the morning. Hello?
Yeah, that didn't work. I've completely forgot. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I completely forgot that when you change any audio settings on StreamYard, for whatever reason, it doesn't update straight away. You've got to like refresh the whole stream. Or in my case, leave and come back in. I just couldn't be bothered. So my mum just had a long message of me going, what do I press? After I cut the headphones off. So anyway, but no, it's fine.
Happy days. Happy days.
Because I got headphones in, so you ain't going to hear them anyway. So let's just pretend that they all said thank you and appreciate it. So yeah, I'll speak to you. I'll give you a call or something tomorrow morning, see how things are going. But yeah, thanks again for sorting that out for us. Cheers. There you go. That's my mum sorted. See all go sorted.
I was saying to Liam, once I finish this, I'm going to put it on the mantelpiece, and I'll have to have that convo with the missus in the morning when she sees it, because I'm at the point now where I'm like, I want to start displaying stuff, or at least like one Star Wars set. And she's, to be fair to her, she's like, I just don't want Lego in the lounge. It's like the one room where we sort of, it's off limits. And she's got like botanicals around the gaff, but she says like Star Wars, it's just not very
Yeah, same.
aesthetically pleasing, is it?
Yeah, I'm fair. I kind of. Kirsty says that as well, and I kind of get
It's
it.
fair enough, isn't it?
Because you've got some random kind of clunky looking ship. I mean, something like that, Kirsty would be okay with, because it's like kind of got a Christmassy theme, and we like a bit of kind of tongue in cheek type stuff, but not like all year round. Like, because I think last year for Halloween, Kirsty put the Hocus Pocus house out as part of our kind of decor, and stuff like that. But yeah, I think they're right. Like, 'cause the flowers, in fairness, the botanicals, they do look good. They're strong, and they're not kind of, I don't know, they're not kind of like,
they're not tacky, are they?
Yeah, they're not kind of ugly and kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say ugly because then I'm calling my sets ugly. But you know what I mean? It's just they don't the flowers fit in a room. The same reason real flowers do. They just make a room look good. Even as a bloke, I can say that a bunch of flowers or a plant in a room does give it some aura, like,
To
and
people
the
who don't like
botanicals.
Star Wars, mate, it does look naff. Like I said to her, there's a perfect spot. Like, I've got a lovely sideboard in here, pretty new. I've got like a lounge dining room, like a fruit room. And there's a lovely space for the UCS sail barge. And she was like, I'm not having that brown shit in my lounge. Like, it would just look horrible.
Huge brown turd.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there is an exception to this, and I think Kirsty would agree. There is an exception to that rule, and that is another reason why I love it so much is the MIDI scale ships, because I do think they look a little bit classier.
Yeah.
They are a bit more. It's almost like office desk type thing, like where people have like an office desk and they've got like, I don't know, like a statue or just like one random statue, or what are those things called? Like, those ball things where you lift it and it goes. I think there's a particular name for it because I did it when I was in school, in design tech, and they're called like executive toys. Where you lift the ball up and it hits the others, and that kind of stuff, and just a random like statue or something. Those look good as things like that. I'm not saying you're going to just just chuck one up on a random shelf, but I think if you had like a say a shelf behind your sofa with a couple of books on it, maybe a picture,
like a typical image that Lego uses.
Yeah,
their website.
Yeah, but I that's more like people make fun of them, but that is more like the kind of decor that we've got in our house. Is kind of, we have a more rustic vibe in our house, and we don't mind. Like, I think Kirsty would be happy with a set like that if we had a shelf like that, just kind of sitting there. But obviously, the rest of them, they're just kind of big and they're clunky and they're kind of like, especially when they got like figures and stuff hanging around them, and it's just, I don't know. And this is why I always said the UCS like don't really fit, because if you have a Lego collection with shelves, they generally don't fit in most cases. If you have it on top of units, they take up a lot of space and they're kind of hanging over and you're kind of knocking them every time you kind of reaching over. So unless you've got a dedicated room with a lot of space, then you're not going to put something like that anywhere else in your house. You're not going to have like a the Millennium Falcon just sat on your coffee table. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's too big and kind of glaring and a bit, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Posing, aren't they?
A bit, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have done that even if I lived alone. If I lived alone and I could put anything where I wanted, I wouldn't just bang a play set on the shelf in my living room. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe I don't really like Lego.
Fake fan.
Yeah. MIDI scale. This is the most swooshable ever. Oh, Paddy's off to bed, chaps. Got to be grown up tomorrow, so need some sleep. Sarah, hopefully you're still gonna tune and pop on the stream at some point tomorrow. I will let you know. I mean, obviously you'll see it on Instagram, whatever. I don't know whether you really follow my stuff on Instagram, but I will. I mean, I'm guessing you do, because when the streams are coming on, unless you just have the bell on here. But I'll let you know. I'd love for you to pop on. Obviously, no pressure, but.
So, mate, I've literally just realised we're like nearly 2 hours in, and we haven't even talked about what the stream's about.
Yeah. So Echo Base Live, I was just about to say, let's get into it. I was hoping the Slurpee was going to pop on here because The images you sent me, right? I've got them, and I'm going to send them across now. But for whatever reason, they kind of move a little bit at the beginning.
Are they live photos?
No, but I thought I remember seeing. What's that a picture of? Send me a picture of a car park. Oh no, that was Kirsty. I thought I'd seen other images, so I had a little quick look through your Instagram, and I couldn't see it on there either. But I'm sure I've seen like videos of you walking around.
I sent you that video
Recently.
Yeah. WhatsApp.
Because on the WhatsApp you sent me only had 4 images. Sorry, 5 images.
Yeah, one of them's a video.
Oh, wait a second.
It's the
the last one with the pushchair.
Yeah.
It's thrown me off because look, I don't know if you can see on there, but when you go up to it moves for like a split second.
Yeah.
And then stops. So I completely forgot. So my problem is that this is why I always like Slurpee to do this stuff. So I can send the pictures across and throw the picture up, which I'm going to do now. But with the video, it takes up a lot of data. So to send that to my, I mean, I'm still going to try it, but I'm just letting you know that when you try to send it, because I've got to send it from my phone, because I haven't got anything connected. I've got no Instagram, nothing connected to this Chromebook because the memory on it is quite an old one, so the memory on it is quite low. So when you send pictures and videos and stuff to it, it starts like going bananas. So so what I'll do is I'll send the pictures in it first, and we can have a look at them. And then while we're doing that, I'll see if the video will send. Why is that?
I'll see if I go on their actual Instagram, and we can just sort of use other people's pictures.
I'm just trying to find where that other video is saved to. Is it? Oh, it's under just what? Oh, it's under WhatsApp. That's why. Okay. But still, I thought I'd seen more than that. I thought I'd seen a lot more pictures for some reason. But maybe I don't know. Where they go now? WhatsApp videos, WhatsApp pictures. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Share that. So I mean, while we're doing this, just talk me through it. Like, where was it? Cost to get in.
So
vibe, 1-day event. What's the
yeah, it's 1 day. It's a 1-day event, and it's very different in terms of convention, because it is literally a convention for traders.
Right.
It's classed as it's a classic toy fair. So there's no shows on. There's no panel where people are talking. It's just a big, massive room. Like it is pretty huge, full of stalls. Like you are like Pac-Man. It's so tight in there. There's stall after stall after stall of the classic retro toys. It's like the old Kenner toys, stuff that like my old man used to collect and he's in his 50s, stuff that like when Star Wars was first coming out. And it's I think it's very unique, because this is sort of the biggest convention in Europe for this sort of merchandise. So it's got a big target audience. Like, there's a lot of people from abroad come over. When I say me, I spoke to odd conversation with quite a few people. Spoke to some people from Holland. Some people had travelled from America. Some people had travelled from Germany. And this was just in the queue where I was standing. So
I was at the NEC, right?
No, it's in a place called Redditch, which is like a town about 20-30 minutes from me. So easy enough to drive. One day event, it's free entry, but I bought a early entry pass, which was £10. You get in an hour earlier. So imagine you walk into this huge hall sort of room in a shopping centre. You're faced with hundreds and hundreds of like tables full of toys. Like it's overwhelming with how much stuff's there. But then at the back of this room is Star Wars guests.
Right.
So my intention was to meet Alan Russo, who's Plo Koon in some of the Brickworld films, because I had a Plo Koon microfighter set to get signed. And when I got there, because I'm not bothered about all these toys, all the old retro stuff. I just beeline straight for the guests at the back. So I was straight there, hardly any queues. But there was, I'll get the name of some of the guests, but like the bloke who Greedo was there. Let me get his name. So Simon Williamson was there, who was Max Rebo. Alan Rusko, who I got the auto from, who's Plo Koon. There was Paul Blake, who was Greedo.
Paul Blake, that's it.
Andy Sacombe, who is the voice for Watto. Yeah, all these guys who, you know, they're not the big names, the A-listers. They're maybe not people who draw your attention, or they're the reason. It's different for me because, like I say, it was a 20-minute drive, so I don't have to take into account for travel. But this convention isn't. It's mainly for the toys and the merchandise. So these guests aren't guests that people are going to travel from across the world for. But it was just a lovely bonus of a day to go and meet these people for the you know, and I didn't have to pay to meet them. Obviously, you've got to pay if you want an autograph, but I didn't. I only bought Alan Rusko. Everyone else, I just went up and had a chat. So it was, you know, it was a bit, I say surreal. It was a bit surreal because it was meeting people who had been in something we're such big fans of and having general chit chat with, and it's just sort of. It made it feel a bit more down to earth and a bit more normal. That was my experience of it. But like I say, I'm very different because I didn't go there for the toys. But the guys who I spoke to in the queue, like the people from Holland, they go to every single Echo base because they're big into. They said their main collection is about Kenner toys, and again, I don't know the names of all this stuff, but they said this is the best place in the world to go.
Wow.
There's people buying and selling. So like a bit like the illegal garage sale you guys had at Brickworld, there were people just going there without stalls, just walking around with like stuff in their hand and just saying like, oh, fancy trade, all that sort of stuff. It was really interesting to watch. And then loads of cosplayers walking around. So there was like a big Chewie costume, which was fantastic. Loads of people selling like life-size replica droids, and there was one guy selling movie props. So there was, do you know that Disney set, which is like the actual film stand, and it's the like the old retro camera.
Yeah, the one Slurpee won for and gave it to Kirsty. Yeah,
that's it. There was someone selling like the real ones of them from the original Star Wars set, and it had like, you know, like the old silver tin cases that the like film reels would come in. Someone was selling them. Someone was selling like bits of rock that were from Mos Espa, like the real scene. There was just anything you could think of, like movie props. There was just so much stuff there. You could go.
Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't hear you. What the fuck just happened?
Can everyone else hear?
Let us know in the chat, guys. I don't know I think Nimble can hear me, but I can't hear him. But I don't know whether you guys can hear me or him. Most likely you can hear him, and it's just me. But if so, you can just crack on. But sorry, mate, I didn't want to sort of cut you off there, but
no, it's all right.
Just happened. What's happened here?
Liam can hear us.
That's what's happened.
I'll crack on. But yeah, it's just a massive convention in a nutshell.
No, it's just me, it is, guys. You carry on telling them about it, mate. I'll sort this out now.
In a nutshell, massive convention, cheap as chips entry. You don't have to pay anything if you don't want to. Where you can just find merchandise, props from the sets. Again, it's all Star Wars. There's nothing else there. So you meet like for like people, meet other fans, and yeah, meeting those people, those guests. But funnily enough, and this is where my story comes in, this Andor cap, which I bought, and it's actually one of 15 ever made. So this hat was given to the set decorators who worked on Andor season 2. And the bloke I actually bought it from, I didn't realise until after I'd left, was actually in Andor. So he is a guy called Barry Gingell. He runs his own sort of like buying and selling the old Star Wars toys. And he was working on Andor in the set decorators and on the tech department as well. But he was the still image of Anto Krieger in Andor, who was like this rebel character. No voice lines, nothing. All he was on a hologram with, I think it was in like one of the Imperial meetings. It might have been like when Dedra is having like an ISB meeting and Anto Krieger pops up on a hologram. And he was the guy who was, he was the hologram. And I actually speaking to him about Andor and stuff, and he didn't even mention it. It was weird. And it was only when I got home, I realised who he was. And I was actually gutted because I would have got him to sign it. Because a guy I had met at a previous convention, so shout out to Nick, I don't know whether he'd be watching or not. He has the same hat, which is what sort of drew my eye to it when I saw it, because he was telling me about it, how he got it, and he actually got it from the same guy at a different place. So yeah, there's only like 15 of these in existence. So being like a big Andor fan, I thought it goes well with my signed K2SO set. But yeah, it was just interesting how I didn't realise who I'd actually got it from. Can you hear me now, Mark?
Yeah, sorry, mate. I don't know what happened. They were saying they could hear us both, but I just, for some reason, I couldn't hear you. But everything was working, so I just left and came back in.
Did you hear what I was saying about the like who I got the hat from?
No, I missed a chunk, unfortunately. So
I'll send you the picture. This hat, it drew my attention straight away because someone I met at Invasion, a good friend now, Nick, he has this hat. And he was telling me he won it at an auction because it's only 15 made and it was given to staff who worked on the set of Andor. So
I remember you saying about this. Was this one of the guys you had a photo with?
Yeah.
I was like, is this your crew? And you were like, no, I met all those guys there. Like,
yeah.
Right.
So I was aware of this being a thing before, and then I saw it on a stand at Echo Base. So beeline for it. I went straight for it, and I asked him. I said, is this for sale? And the bloke was like, yeah, it was his personal one. So I was like, okay, how did you come across it? Like, how did you come about it? And he was like, well, I actually worked on the set of Andor. I was a part of the tech designers and setting up the sets. So I was like, oh, brill. And I was like, how many are in existence? He was like, yeah, he said there's about 15. And I said, it's funny I've seen this because my friend has got one and he won it on an auction. And he was like, oh, yeah, where was that? And I remember we having the conversation. He was like, oh, yeah, I remember now. And then when I got home, I showed my friend Nick a picture of it. And I was like, oh, yeah, I've come across one. It's weird because we were having a conversation about it. And he was like, do you remember the name of the bloke who you bought it from? And I was like, I don't, but I can check it because I bought it on PayPal. So I checked the name and it was Barry Gingell. And he was like, you do realise who that was, don't you? And I was like, no. And he was like, that's Anto Krieger from Andor. So Anto Krieger was a character in Andor who, no voice lines, nothing. He was just a background character who was spoken about. But he also was on a hologram. So this bloke here. So he's the bloke.
Wait a sec. Let me throw you up full screen. What hologram was that then?
I think it's in like a one of the Empire's sort of council meetings when they're talking about capturing him because he's a rebel.
Right.
And he's the bloke I bought the hat from, and I didn't realise who he was until I'd got home and had this conversation with Nick. And Nick was like, oh, you should have got him to sign it and stuff. And I was like, I'm gutted now because I missed out. And I was having a conversation with this bloke and he didn't even bring it up.
Even if it was like that much of a snippet, knowing full well these are Star Wars fans, I'd been like that. I'm in Star Wars, guys. I'm in Star Wars. I'm in Star Wars. I'm in Star Wars. I'm in Star Wars. I'm in Star Wars.
But he was more like he was more talking about like the designing of the sets and stuff. So it's weird. So he must be more proud of that than actually being Anto Krieger. But I was gutted.
How many did he get then? How many of those did he get then if he was flogging them like?
Well, this was his personal one. He said there's 15 in existence. He sold the one at auction, which my mate Nick won, and he was happy to sell me his personal one.
How much? Do you mind us asking how much you paid?
I paid £100, but then my mate Nick, he won't mind me saying if he's even watching. The one he won at auction was £300. That's why I bought it for 100. But
right, because you got a scope of comparison then, haven't you?
Yeah. But he got Anto Krieger to sign his. Mine isn't signed, but I'm hoping if he says he runs stalls at across the country selling Star Wars stuff, so I'm hoping he's there again next year, and I'll wear the hat and ask him to sign it there and then.
No, that's you necked that whole bottle of Vimto during the stream.
No. It's Coke cherry anyway.
Oh, so I was gonna say you're never gonna fucking sleep.
No. But see these these life-size droids, they're all for sale and stuff. And there was a brilliant K2SO, and it was just, if I could get it home, I'd love that. But where would you put something like that?
No, I like the idea of that pit droid, and that'd be pretty cool. Because what I do see is I put that in one of my in my downstairs bathroom, and I just sit him there in a corner, and then just have him like holding a toilet roll or something like that, spare toilet roll, and that'd be all right then. I think I'd get away with that with Kirsty, but obviously that big droid, he's just no matter where you put him, he's just going to be in the way, isn't he? Unless you use him to hang your washing on during the winter, like I don't know what else you do with it, like.
That's like them sort of stalls. So imagine like that table we can see there. Imagine and this isn't even an exaggeration, imagine that times by about 600. There's about like 600 of them in a room full of different stuff. So like if you're going there to look for Lego, you're going to the wrong place. I'd say probably 1 out of 50 stalls had Lego on it. And even if it did, it's overpriced anyway. Like, we know, because we're in the Lego game, what prices are. So I wouldn't buy any Lego there anyway. But yeah, it's
that's where I need to go really to try and sell my stuff, because I've got a lot of like collector's stuff that I'm not particularly, bothered about, interested in. Nothing, not unique, not necessarily unique pieces like these, but stuff that was, it's all stuff that was available in shops at a given time, but mostly from the kind of Power of the Force generation. So from mid 90s right up until maybe 2000, because once Phantom Menace had kind of started, falling by the wayside, and I think I kind of stopped, and I was like, I started moving out a little bit. Then I was just like, I can't keep trudging this stuff around. So, but I have got some, and I've gotten rid of a lot and sold a lot. But I'd still say that what I had could, if I spread everything out and made it look good, I could probably fill all the tables you can see in that background. Those 3 that guy's got with whatever's in the plastic, these 2 here with the busts and stuff on, and those couple of tables in the back, I could probably fill them with the stuff I've got that I either just haven't sold or didn't want to sell at the time. But now I'm like, it's been in storage since I decided I was going to keep it. So what's the point? So I'd much rather put that.
Everyone's selling so much.
Yeah, but that's where I can't find. I can't find somewhere to go because that's why I was trying Whatnot. But with Whatnot, it's just so many, like looking into it and speaking to people about it. It's like, to get lots of people on your stream, you've got to be like, they want you to do giveaways, and you've got to be going for like weeks and weeks to build up like do you know what I mean? You can't just do a one-off stream, sell all your stuff, and what I mean? You've got to like slowly build up, and and it's like, it's more work then. I'm like, I just want to sell it once and then move on. And I think when I told the people of Whatnot who reached out to me through a friend of mine who I follow, Galactic Bricker, I think he kind of misunderstood what I wanted to do. And he's like, oh, yeah, you want to become a Whatnot seller? And I'm like, no, I just want to go on Whatnot to sell all my stuff, and then I'm done. I'll wash my hands of it. And he's like, and then he put me in touch with the toy department, Star Wars toy department, who contacted me. And when I said to them, look, basically, don't want to become a Whatnot. And they're like, oh, yeah, if you're doing it for so long, you can get, you can represent us at shows, and you can be, sponsored by us. And I'm like, I don't have time for all that shit. I said, no, I literally, like, if I can do a stream that lasts 4 or 5 hours and I can sell everything I've got, that'll be my last stream.
Yeah.
I said, because I'm not. And they're like, oh, yeah, but with the money you make, you go out and you buy other things at a good price and you resell them. Then I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of that shit. No, that's not for me. I don't want to make a job of it. Like, and I've got a full-time job and plenty of hobbies. I just want to make some money. So I think, Whatnot, I think that's what it originally was supposed to be, but it's turned into like a business for some people. Even if they're not making a living off it, but making some extra money, they go out, they buy things as cheap as possible, then they resell them. And I'm just like, I haven't got fucking time for that shit. So I need something like this where I can go one time, set up my wares, and flog it off. My biggest issue is that I wouldn't know what the value of it is, but I'd be happy to, if I knew I was going there, say next weekend, I'd be happy to scour every single item, find the cheapest price. And if it's averaging at, 50, 60 quid, I'm going to mark it up for 40 and take 30 just because I want it gone,
Yeah. To be fair, this would be the place to do it. I don't know how easy it would be to go about getting a stall, but I know that this is very, for people in the game of classic Star Wars toys and figures, this is the place to be. So I bet it is quite hard to get a table there. There was no extra space. Like, they couldn't have fitted any more in than what they already had.
Drunken Gamer 75. How we doing, mate?
And again, this is like, it's hard to sell it as a convention to people who, like, I wouldn't recommend this to go and spend money to travel there. I was in a scenario where, because I had the 20-30 minute drive, I haven't got any other costs to account for it. You can spend a good few hours there, I'd say, but once you've been round it a couple of times and you've bought what you want to bought what you want to buy, you've spoke to the guests at the back of the room, then it's sort of that's really it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a convention, but at the same time, it's basically just a Star Wars. To sum it up, it's a big Star Wars car boot with Star Wars actors and actresses there as well. But it is,
Yeah,
it
I
is
think
cool.
just a quick shout out to Drunken Gamer, who is also known as Fix My Brick. So yeah, nice for you to pop by, mate. Obviously, it's not a Lego show tonight, but there's a little bit of Lego talk here and there. Yeah, so I mean, is this cling film over this? Is this just to look at? Or?
They were this was like there was like a sheet over it, 'cause this weren't stuff being sold. So all this stuff in there is supposedly really rare and expensive stuff. But again, I'm not in the game of it, so I've got no idea what it was. I just took a picture of it because I thought it's got to be something cool in there. But there was loads of stuff like this. People had took stuff and stands like that, and they weren't selling it. They were just showcasing it, and there'd be people just standing around it, like with their, their jaws dropping on the floor, like in shock. Whereas to me, I was just walking past it and thinking, "Oh, this is pretty cool," because I don't collect any of this stuff. Like, it looks like stuff I'd have in my old man's loft at our old house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and none of this stuff here looks appealing to me, but it does look a lot like the kind of some of the stuff I've got, like where I had like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but like kind of special release cans of Coke of Darth Maul and that kind of crap that I had. I had loads of it. I mean, I got rid of most of that stuff, and a lot of it was perishable anyway. But yeah, I still got a few bits and pieces, like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn lollipop stick caps. So it's like a stick thing which is shaped like a lightsaber, and then you've got a cap thing with their head on, and you pull it up and there's a lollipop in there. And then I got other things where it's the three Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and they're like in these dome shaped packaging. And there's like a little lever thing on the bottom, like a wheel thing. And as you turn it, they like kind of battle each other. So the idea is you put all three of them together and then you just turn the knobs and they kind of fight each other. And I remember thinking that was cool at the time. But then years later, if somebody had asked me to list what I had, I couldn't have named 10 of the like 200 items I had. And when I started unpacking it all years later, like 20 years it was in storage for, if not more. I remember unpacking and going, what the fuck did I buy these for? But I knew that there was going to be some
to buy that.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can. It's really difficult to do because I was in some Facebook marketplace. Sorry, I was in some Facebook selling groups, including the Echo Base, because that's how they started. Was a Facebook group. I was in the Echo Base, and you put stuff in there, and it was just you got to have your name on a piece of paper. You got to put the date, and you're not allowed to keep the post on there for so long. You've got to let them know if it's posted in other groups, and it's just like I just want to sell stuff and move on. Yeah. And there was just so much politics involved, and then people saying, "Oh, you're putting that up for too high a price. That needs to be lower. Nobody's going to buy." And there was people trolling each other. 90% of the messages were people going. I'd say 40% of the messages were people going, "Oh, a bunch of junk. Nobody wants that. Why have you posted it?" And just abusive stuff, which is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
There was another like 40% of people doing the thing that Facebook Marketplace was known for, which is how much will you take for this? Like I've put the price on it. Like how much will you take for this? I'm interested in this. And then you reach out to them and nothing. Never get back to you. Whatever, or I've PM'd you and either they haven't or they've PM'd you and you're like, yeah, this is for sale. Just send me your address and you can have it.
A lot of time wasters.
And then the other 20% were people who were genuinely interested and you sold it to. But that percentage goes, as you got rid of some of the bigger and the more important stuff, that 20% went down to almost nothing. I was in about 10 Facebook Marketplace, Facebook selling groups, as well as having all the stuff posted on Facebook Marketplace. And I was getting more sales from just Facebook Marketplace than I did from any of the groups. And I was in about 10 of them. And in the end, I was just like, nope. And of course, with Facebook Marketplace, they didn't have all these different rules, regulations. Those people will contact you. Okay, you'd still have people like never come back to you or whatever. But in this group, when it's other like-minded people, generally, you think that, you know, you'd have the respect, especially because they're in there buying and selling. So it just got really tedious for me. And in the end, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm taking all the stuff off the Facebook groups and leaving them all. And I just kept it on Marketplace then, general Marketplace. And then that siphoned off as well. And I just thought, I've just had enough. I mean, I could probably go on there again now and give it another go and relist it all and take new, but it means I got to pull it all back out, take new photos, because I've changed my phone
It's
like
the
4 or 5
hassle
times.
with it, isn't it?
And it's just, I can't be bothered just to, you know, maybe get someone go, and then you've got to package it up, and then you've got to send it off, and then they're going to go, oh, they came damaged. And I can't be.
That's why you need to this, isn't it? Because people
exactly.
It's
and I didn't know that this was
the scene, isn't it?
And I'd heard of Ecobase, and I kind of knew what it was, but I didn't think it was that seller focused. I thought it was 80% seller, and then a bit of like, I thought it was a bit like a UK Star Wars celebration where there was a bit of activity, a bit of this, a bit of that. Only now you telling me this that I've realized that it's kind of, and obviously I wouldn't have taken all my shit all the way up to Birmingham, don't get me wrong, but if there was something like this near me, I'd do it in a heartbeat and hopefully get rid of the lot. And I don't even care, you know, even if I got something that's worth 100 quid and, you know, have it for 50, I just want it gone. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a good excuse to get rid of all your tat and have some money and see a load of Star Wars stuff as well. Like, because at the end of the day, we're big fans of it, aren't we? So seeing stuff like this is cool. Whether I'd buy any of it or not, different story. But just going around and looking at it was really cool. And then, like just seeing there was loads of people doing cosplay. Like that Chewbacca costume was immense. And I was in and out within 2 hours.
Really?
You don't need any longer than that. I probably dragged it on a bit more, I suppose. But I was going on my own. If you're with other people, then you probably make more of a day of it, don't you? Maybe you go for a drink outside or something. Because it's in a shopping centre, so you can just you can wander out, go grab something to eat and pop back in. But I was just there to get in, see what the crack was and get out, I suppose. But I'm planning on going again next year and meeting up with Nick, who I met at Invasion. He's going to come to Birmingham and we're going to make a day of it. So, because it's so, like I say, it's £10 for an early bird ticket. It's an easy day out, very easy day out.
I wish I knew how to zoom in on these. I can never seem to do it on this Chromebook. But I really I'd be interested to see how much I've got it now anyway, but the Gungan sub, because I'm assuming that's complete, how much that would be. And then I can see next to it is the Battle on Mustafar as well set, which you hardly ever see. Almost never see it. But I'd be interested to see some of these prices. What is this at the very front? That's kind of, there's so much reflection on it, I can't tell what it is. Do you know what set that is?
Can't tell.
No, I can't either. I feel like it looks like I feel like it's a solo set.
Nah, it's not solo. I think it's Clone Wars or Rebels. Might be Rebels.
I see if I can look on the picture I've got. The video I just can't get the video to upload. It's just not working. Twice I've tried sending it, and both times it's like upload failed. And I think that's why. This is why, like I said, I don't generally get Slurpee to do this stuff because.
Have you got Instagram on your Chromebook?
Yes, but when I try to run it, because the memory on it is shit, it's really it just freaking slows everything down. Let me just see if I can zoom into this set first. Ah, do you know what it is? No, it's the 7530. I want to say, B-wing. I've got that B-wing. That's probably the best version of the B-wing. It's got 9 and 10, and he's selling that for 150. It's not bad if it's sealed. I just want to look. TIE Fighter UCS sealed 455. That's not bad. 1800 on the Executor Star Destroyer. Super Star Destroyer. 1800. I'm pretty sure that's going for like 2000. These are actually not bad sets. Cloud City, UCS 950, UCS Tantive 4, Blockade Runner 500, 375 on the Naboo. Oh, pre-owned. Wait a sec, pre-owned, complete, 375. That's not bad, actually. I mean, you get 300 at least for the Amidala for that. 235 on the Jet T8. Oh, is it T8? No, T6 shuttle. See, now that one I want. I might have been tempted by that if I was there. The police gunship. That's a great set.
Yeah, it's
That
cool,
version.
isn't it?
That version of Ahsoka I don't have. That's the only version of it. No, I'll tell you what. No, I don't have the Rebels version either, the expensive one. But I want that version of Ahsoka, 200 quid. I was working on a mock for that set because, believe it or not, most of those parts in that set are relatively cheap. So if you ever want a part out of set, that that to have all that complete without the figures, you could probably do it for about 50 quid.
Oh, really?
As it looks. You may struggle with the stickers. You might have to go to a second place for the stickers. But so I started doing it as a mock, so it was a red instead of grey, red, and then I started doing it ages ago. I got about 70% of the pieces, and then, like with everything else I do, I gave up on it.
Yeah.
See that 350 quid for that Jedi Starfighter with the hyper ring. I got that partially built, so it wasn't in the box sealed, but it was partially built. So I think, like, let's say there's 10 bags, like 8 of the bags were still sealed.
Yeah.
You just basically built part of the ship, and that was it. Along with 4 other sets, one of which was the yellow Anakin's Y-wing.
That's a brilliant set, isn't it?
So I got the hyperdrive ring, right? Partially built. So I'd say 20% built. I got the TIE Striker used but complete. I got the Anakin's yellow Y-wing from Clone Wars used but complete. Actually, no, tell that one was missing a couple of pieces, but they're easy to replace. They're pennies. And I also got the Solo Millennium Falcon, the white one.
That's class.
Complete. And the whole thing, including postage, cost me 140 quid.
Bloody hell.
When I was doing it, this was back in the heyday of Facebook Marketplace, where you could strike up a good deal. And when I was going through the parts for this set, this Jedi shuttle, I found 2 bags in there after I'd finished building that didn't belong to the set. And it turns out they belonged to the set that had, do you remember the first version of Phase 2 Captain Rex? It's like a bike and sidecar thing.
Yeah, like Bark Speeder, something.
Bark Speeder, yeah. So it was all the parts for that by one bag, which was the bag that Rex would have been in.
Really?
So I felt like reaching out to the guy and saying, like, you didn't sell me this, but you sent me most of the pieces. Can you send me the other bag? Because they were sealed. Those bags were sealed as well. So I don't know what he did with the rest. So basically, the bag that was missing was the bag to build the droid ship and Rex. And I think the other figure, the droid figure, was in that bag. So he must have built that. But I had the other 2 bags or 3 bags or whatever it was to build the sidecar set. So I had that for free. I mean, considering the fact it was a good price anyway.
Yeah.
875 on a sealed Ewok Village. That seems a bit overpriced. But
isn't that
not
like
bad.
500-600?
I mean,
I don't know.
I remember when I first got in the game and I was repurchasing old sets, I remember seeing that 100% complete with box, but not sealed, for 200 quid. And I wish I jumped on it. I remember saying to Kirsty, "Oh, shall I get this?" And at the time, like, I had a little budget, and I had enough to get that with a little bit of money left over, or I had, I think, a deal, not this one, but a deal similar to that other one where it was like for 150 quid I could get like a bunch of sets, like I did with that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do? I thought, oh no, I'll go for the group of sets. There's chances of getting that again are slim. Got a bunch of sets, and then by the time I had a budget again, that set had gone, and then it just kept going up and up and up. I was gutted, but I was still kind of glad. I think I made the right decision. I mean, obviously, if I had extra money, I would have got both. But
there'll be a new one of them anyway.
Yeah, that bust, that trying to see what brand it is. That bust of Boba Fett. And I'm sorry, statue of Boba Fett at the front. It's cool. $795 though. Oof. Sure I won't
Some
pay
of
for
the
that,
stuff
friend.
in there was mega expensive. But it was, like I say, it was really interesting to see stuff that I'd not seen before. And it was like I told my old man about it when I got back to when I saw him next after that. And he was like, he isn't into Star Wars at all anymore, but like, because he grew up with it, he was just like, oh, I would have loved to have gone to that, because it would have just been like so nostalgic for him,
Yeah.
seeing all the toys that he used to collect and like what they're going for these days. But so it's hard to it's a convention unless you're really into the classic toys. I wouldn't recommend making a trip of it and staying over. It's different for like my mate Nick, who's planning on coming, because we're meeting up. That's the point of it, and we're just using Echo Base as the excuse. It's just when there's stuff like that on your doorstep, go and bloody do it.
Right, so I'm on Instagram now. Let's see if we can finish strong with this video, if I can find it. Because I don't use it very often. I'm coming on here now and it's like, show me all the updates. There's an update for this, there's an update for that. Turn on notifications. I can't be asked. I just want to find Nimble's thing. Is it on? I'm guessing it's on your profile, yeah?
Yeah, there's a post, and I think it's it might just be like a picture of the Echo Base lanyard.
I've searched in chats for Nimble, and the first thing that's come up is London Bridge, and then Magisto's workshop. Like, why would it not? Oh, there it is. I've literally typed in the search bar Nimble, and you're like 5th. And I don't know anybody else, and none of the other people are even close. There's even some random guys that don't even. What's that?
I'm 5th choice.
Yeah, 5th choice of Nimble, apparently. Oh, Christ. Right, let me share this then so it's something interesting to see for everyone else. And then we're going to call it a night, guys. Ultron, how we doing, mate? Thanks for joining us. Love a UCS TIE Fighter. Yeah, I actually like that version as well. I remember seeing Terry Crews building it years ago, this was, and couldn't have been long after it came out, and being like, oh, that's quite nice. But I think Padawan's got that one, hasn't he? Let's have a look. Share screen. Yeah. Share screen. Instagram. Right. So we are currently, gotta click on it first. There we go. Let's see how much of this we can see, and hopefully it doesn't slow right down. So yeah, so we can see your K2S there with all your signatures. Awesome. We talked about that in the last convention's chat. What was it? 11th of October. Could have been that long ago then, could it?
It's that one. The see the lanyard.
Yeah. But that's the video, is it?
Yeah, it's got the video in there.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Let's scroll across these pictures and it'll let me do it. No, I was just looking at your another post.
It is in there somewhere.
I'm not sure. How do I look at the next picture?
That might be it. See, like the little white bubbles at the bottom.
Yeah, but it won't let me click them. Normally you would just, there's a cross button right here. Dickhead.
Yeah, so this is the video.
I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear anything?
There's probably no audio on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably it doesn't need to be anything, do we? So we got their signatures. We got Kylo Ren scooting past with his sack of goodies. A guy who's had to let his stomach out on his stormtrooper outfit. Ah, signatures.
Someone's selling, signatures, framed photos. And I got on video. I probably captured 1/10 of the convention. But
Yes, this is about. Oh wow.
the so it's so sick, isn't it?
Mm.
I love that.
So yeah, so this is a buyers and sellers wet dream, then basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like seller buyers in general. So, like you said, this is repeating now. So this is to people who collect bits and pieces of everything. To what the yard sale was to Lego people, because I know they have a little bit of Lego here, but I don't know whether any of these, maybe things like Black Series, maybe things like the Vintage Kenner might have their own sub communities. But I feel like, and it's easy to say that because I'm in it, but I feel like the Lego community is, because obviously it's not just Star Wars, it's a massive community within a collection. Whereas I don't think there's communities of people out there, who buy Bandai and these kind of things. So this for them is their kind of their epicenter, because there's a little bit of everything here. Whereas you go to a place like Star Wars Celebration and they'd be probably selling as well and having some stalls and some signatures and God knows where else. But in terms of a percentage of the whole thing, it's very small. Whereas this is just that, which I didn't realize. So that's quite interesting. Wow, that's good.
Yeah,
is that the original? Cool. No, that's see, this is what I collected, because this. Oh shit, I've gone the wrong way. This is Power of the Force, isn't it? So this is like the 90s action figures.
But it's cool.
Oh no, is it? It's not. Can I pause it? No, because this guy here is Walrus Man, or the original version of Walrus Man. We now know him as Ponda Baba. Looks like the original figure, but this dewback here is definitely from the because I had this dewback. So this dewback is the Power of the Force. So I don't know whether there's just a mixture on there. It looks like there's just a mixture, because I think that that carrier in the background with the handle on the top, that's the one from the 70s, the people carrier thing. So it looks like there's just a mixture on there. Wait, did I miss one? No. We got this guy with the trousers are a bit too short for him next to the droid. Those busts actually look pretty cool. I'm interested to see what else those little things are on there, but I like these Darth Vader busts. They look pretty cool. They're probably expensive, but this is 3D printed.
Yeah, they're 3D printed. It's a shame I didn't post the whole video on my Insta, because that was only like 45 seconds, I think. But I took like a 2-minute video and I actually walked around showing where all the guests was sat. And it was, you can see like how less of a thing, like a scene they were making compared to all the toys. Everyone was just crammed around all the toys, and the Star Wars actors and actresses were just sort of like a little bit of a bonus on the side.
Is this your collection?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I don't ever remember you saying you had the Venator.
Yeah.
So I didn't know whether that was in front of someone else's table. Okay. I mean, that Wookiee, that Chewie looks like he's kind of squaring up to that kid, and the kid looks petrified.
He come and he scared the shit out of me, because I was just looking down at my phone, and at this time I hadn't had a shave. I'm fresh trimmed now, fresh shaven. But at the time I was standing there in the queue looking down at my phone, and then I just saw his hand just sort of stroke my beard, and I looked up and I was like, fucking hell. Cool. Martin, it did cost a bomb, mate. Yeah.
This looks like a mixture of both. Anyway, no, that's some good stuff on there, mate. Fair play. Sounds like you had a good crack, and then obviously you got your lanyard and your bits and pieces as well. So that's always good to have. Never get enough.
For
of
for £10, you can't really complain, can you?
No. Bloody hell, that must have cost a bomb. There we go. So look, guys, we'll call it a night. Obviously, I don't want to steal my own thunder if I'm going to do a cold fusion tomorrow. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you coming and checking us out, even though, you know, we're not really talking about anything. It just goes to show that people sometimes just like to watch us talking bollocks. And fair play to them, because even I don't do that with the people I like watching. So no, I appreciate you guys stopping by. There's 9 you guys out there. I know there's a few people who probably watch this on the big screen, but I did like a little bit of research recently, and 25% of our viewers, this is an average, 25% of our viewers never say anything in the chat. It might not be the same people, so I can't really say 25%, but on average for each stream, the amount of viewers versus the amount of people who comment, and that includes people who are lurking, because obviously they've told us they're lurking. Do you know what I mean? So that classes as a comment. It's always about 80%. So let's say, for example, you got 20 viewers for the entire stream. Only like, what is it, 16 of those will ever comment anything. And I always find that interesting, because that tells me because there is a small percentage of viewers in places like Germany and China and stuff like that, very small. There could be like, they could watch an hour a year, but there are people out there who are watching on almost every stream. The percentage of people who actually comment versus the people who are watching they don't match. Does that make sense? So what that tells me is people out there who are watching who never comment anything. I don't know who those people are. Obviously, they might not speak the language, or they might not have a keyboard. They might be watching.
They might be watching from like a guest account. They might not actually be signed in.
Yeah, could be lots of different things. And I'm interested. So if you're one of those people out there who watches this stream or has ever watched a stream of ours, really like you guys to kind of chime in. I mean, you don't have to comment. It's a show to view. There's no like kind of, no need necessarily for you. And if you just enjoy watching, that's great. But to that one person, maybe for this one entire stream or whatever it might equate to, I'm always interested to know what, like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. I mean, I get it, because I was watching streams, when I first come into the community I never put a single comment in. I just watch, but those streams weren't engaging to the point where they were asking questions and like getting people to, do you know what I mean? So it's interesting. The other thing I will say is that when I first started, like I watched Tyler's stream a couple of times live, or caught bits of it live. And I never commented, and at least initially, because I felt like everybody was, it isn't, but it felt to me at that point like a closed community. And this is the bit that worries me more, or I'd really want to address, is that it felt like everybody they were all talking to each other, they all knew each other. And I'm pretty sure like Coop and people like that were already in the chat. And because I was like, I don't know these people. So it's like, you know what I mean? When you go to a party and there's a group of people talking, you don't know any of them, you're not going to go over and, do you know what I mean? I was just like, so if that's you, this isn't a closed community. This is an open community. Put your name in the chat, say hello. We'll welcome you with open arms. It doesn't matter if you've just started watching, you've been watching for ages, you haven't said anything. Trust me, I can speak for the hosts and all the people who are in our chat at the moment. Yes, it might feel like we all know each other very well, which we do. That doesn't mean those doors are closed for you to be part of that. And if you don't, and you're happy just to sit back and watch for whatever reason, that's fine also. So, but I do appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're chanting off in the comments, if you're saying nothing, or if you're, lurking. I appreciate every single one of you guys.
Thank you very much, everybody. Like, Cool Han summed it up pretty well. It's fair play for tuning in, because this isn't a usual. I mean, most people here are going to be big Lego fans. So to, tune into us just talking shit and shooting the ship. So yeah, thanks for being with us. It, makes it a lot more enjoyable when we can have the chat chiming in and giving us things to bounce off. So thank you very much, everybody.
But yeah, just to let you guys know, we've got on the regular Cool Hang Luke show on Sunday 7 p.m. we've got Nappy Buffalo. So welcome him to the community. He's relatively new to the community, but he's had a great start. So we got him on the show, talking a little bit about him, getting to know him, what he's up to, and his kind of short and sweet rise to kind of fame on Instagram, but also overcome a lot of personal tragedy in his life, or overcoming a lot of personal tragedy, and I like to kind of touch on those kind of things. I watch stories like his, and it makes me realize that all the things I complain about are kind of, he probably, some people had killed to be in a situation like mine with all the complaints and issues I think I've got, so we're doing a little bit of that, and again, welcoming new people into this community, which is what I like to do from time to time. We've got that on Sunday. I'm going to do a build stream Monday evening. I'm not sure of the time, probably about 7 or 8 o'clock ish. Might even be earlier, to finish that Imperial Shuttle. And tomorrow we've got for you a Cold Fusion stream. I don't know the start time. I'll get it out as soon as I can this evening, but probably looking at about midday-ish. And it's just open stream, open territory. If you want to come on, have a chat, talk about anything. There's no conversation off limits. And just like tonight, really, where it's kind of can go a little bit sideways. The difference is we won't have a specific topic that we got to try and get back to, or we won't be like, oh, look at the time. We've been talking about this for too long. There won't be any of that. It'll just be like, what's your favorite fruit? What have you been building this week? How about those? I can't even think of an American football team, or just something random like that. It'll just be whatever. And again, the whole point of it is to get people to just hang out, have fun, but also open the community up a little bit. So again, if you're one of those people out there and you want to jump on a stream tomorrow, come and say hello, be my guest. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm going to close out now. Just read these last couple of comments from General Tron. He's saying the AFL community is where I'm most comfortable. Absolutely, me too. I'm unfortunately, General Tron, I know I've got this from a lot of the guys actually, is that I don't have a huge sort of circle of friends, and most of the ones, my close friends in real life, live quite far away from me, so I almost never see them. So I don't have that kind of going out, meeting people, chatting regularly, almost never, in fact. So this is kind of like the closest thing I've got to that, and I gotta say, I would take this over a handful of friends who lived up the street. No offense to them, but yeah, Liam's saying the same thing. Fun stream, appreciate it. I never considered typing on live chat till I met the Lega crowd. I'll watch as many engaged. I watched many before engaged with community. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the first thing that came into my mind, Liam, is that maybe there's people out there who feel like they're on the outside of something, and I'm just here to say they're not. And I know those people are watching, so I know I'm not talking to nobody, because the statistics and the analytics of YouTube don't lie. You've had 20 people watching and only 18 ever made a comment. Like, who are those 2 people? It might be people we know, but you'd think they'd at least say something. But anyway, that's us, guys. Let's play you out and have a great evening or rest of your day, depending on where you are. Stream. Oh, I gotta make sure I change the background first. Right, change it to something plain like that.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Time.
Remove.